Good afternoon, good afternoon. We are here with my lovely panel. We're about to talk about a few things, not a lot of things, just a few things. Some of these topics, they seem to be real juicy, real explicit. But before we get into that, I want everybody to introduce themselves. To my lovely left,
PJ.
PJ,
Rose.
Rose,
Roxy.
Roxy,
And natural all day.
Natural All Day. That rhyme, we should be a group. You know what I'm saying? Shoot,
Girl band.
shoot, right? So, we're getting into some topics. Right before we started, we was talking about one of the hottest topics right now with local celebrity DJ Envy, right? So, I'm going to start, and I just want to hear what the ladies got to say, right? We all know what we like in the bedroom. We all know what we don't like in the bedroom. And if you was with a particular partner that was not pleasing you, how long would it take you to say, hey, and stop it and go forward? Or you need to switch it up?
The same night for
This-
me.
The same night.
Yeah. And why I say the same night is because I'm not gonna wait till the second time, the third time. We're gonna figure this shit out tonight. I'm gonna let you know what's going on tonight. Cause it's I just don't understand why stay in a relationship and you're not being pleased the way you feel you're supposed to be pleased. You're cheating yourself. And that's hell.
That is hell.
That's like hell on earth. Can't do that. So, yeah.
The same night. Have you ever been in a situation? What about you? What about you? What about you? What about you girls?
For 10 years is crazy.
Exactly. Exactly.
10 years?
Yeah. That's
Faking
nuts.
orgasms is crazy.
I see. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do stuff
Yeah.
like that. No.
I feel like it's about transparency because
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, she's married to him, so it's like I feel like because maybe she's a personality kind of person, so she's like, okay, I could just like this isn't a big deal, but for me, transparency. Sometimes you don't want to have those uncomfortable conversations, but 10 years,
But 10 years.
it's
is
like,
crazy.
what about you?
But
Exactly.
what I don't like is how like she just like put it all on Front Street, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I feel like it demasculated him, like in a
Mhm.
sense,
Mhm.
like he felt less like a man, like in a sense, because it's just like this is something you could have kept privately, like to be married to someone and y'all have 6 kids, and for you not to tell me that you're faking orgasm is like,
It's nuts.
damn,
Right.
I'm freaking not doing it.
I feel like the whole faking the orgasm thing is crazy, and like she said, like if they're not pleasing you, what are you around for? But then you gotta ask a bigger question, which is what pleases a person, because there might be other factors that she was pleased with that she was like, you know what, I'll take that L
Yeah.
because if I leave, I can get. You know what I'm saying?
An
I can come
orgasm.
every night,
Yeah.
but I might not be able to go shopping the way I want to.
Yeah.
Or I'm not gonna have the lifestyle I want. And
Mhm.
a lot of females, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people think differently. So when because I feel like this, there gotta be more to the story why she
Yeah.
stayed around that long.
Yeah.
So we just hearing one
Yeah.
side of it, or just the capping part of it, or the angry part of it, but
Mhm.
not the full spectrum of, you know what I'm saying, what's really the deal? Why did you stay around? Like,
But she did say the reason why behind I think she said something like faking orgasm because he cheated and she was turned off. Understandable, but it's like 10 years.
right? Because I feel like, I mean,
That means you
at some
completely turned
point you must have communicated and tried to work through it, but
Mhm.
where did it come that you decided to be complacent? Like,
Yeah.
it had to be convenience, because a lot of the times people
It was
stay
yeah,
for
it was
convenience.
definitely convenient.
It's not really
That's-
because, or the convenience of, hey, I got all of this, he not making me come, but somebody else's.
Mhm.
So why not just
Mhm.
keep dealing with them on the side and keep my whole lifestyle? Because a lot of people think ahead sometimes where it's like, okay, I could leave him, but my lifestyle won't change.
Yeah, this is true.
Am I gonna really change
So
my
you
whole
think it was-
lifestyle for a nut?
So you think it was an all money situation that was keeping her around?
I'm not gonna say that because
I know, say it.
I don't know. Because
Say it.
I don't like to say
You
something.
don't gotta
I'm
tiptoe around
I'm
nothing. You know what I'm
speculating.
saying? I think it was a money situation. I'm not afraid
Me
to say
too,
it.
but I think it
So
was
say
the
that
whole
shit,
lifestyle of period, like the money, just the comfortability,
And the
people know who
being
you
with
are.
kids, yeah.
But my thing is, for all of that, if you're gonna let people in your business on that spectrum, then you gotta let the people in your business in
Exactly.
your
Mm.
mouth.
Point.
Because some people say, oh, I ain't want to leave because it's going to mess up a lot of stuff. People going to be in our business, want to know why.
Yeah.
But you just let them
Like,
know
did
why.
she not come like at all or have an orgasm at all?
That-
Like,
that's
there
what
wasn't,
she's
like, a
saying.
substitute, like she didn't like have,
She's crazy.
bring anything else in the bedroom.
I
Like
love
10
myself.
years.
That's what she's saying.
That's what I was thinking
It's
too.
gotta be
Like
a
maybe
little
she didn't
more-
have, maybe she had to fake a lot of orgasms, but there were times when it was
Yeah.
him. or just
Or was it him specifically that, you know, she didn't get it from him, or maybe like from toys, or maybe from like his mouth, like something, like none at all?
You gotta be realistic though. With all them kids being married that long, and both of them being in a business, or at least him being in business,
6 kids.
they're busy first of all. So they're not even having the opportunity to fuck every day anyway.
Not
like
10
the
years.
average. No, I'm just saying though. But he's been in the business that long, probably more than likely. So what I'm saying is, with them already not having the opportunity to have sex every day, and that falling under the radar, the times when they probably did, it just probably wasn't hitting, because y'all already not having that close connection. Y'all got mad kids, you gotta come home, take care of kids, he's out, and then when y'all do finally have that time to be around each other for that moment,
Friction, tired.
the energy probably just not there.
Yeah. So my whole thing is this, right? She said something to the fact where they dated young and I didn't know my body, or I didn't know how to tell him, and I seen him put in all his work.
Hold on.
Right?
We're gonna take they knew each other since they were young out of the equation. Because when you're young, you don't know nothing about sex. You guys are still experiencing. So we're gonna fast forward into the 10 years of their marriage when they're adults. I feel like you have to listen to your partner. That's another thing when it comes to sex, and you gotta listen to them. You have to know when they tell you, but then again, you have to have these conversations because they are sometimes uncomfortable. But you have to talk about what you like in the bedroom. So when you do get down, there's no issue. Sometimes nobody listens, but you know.
Or like they feel like the other partner would get offended, or it's such a like touchy subject that they're scared. But it's like you gotta balance out which one you want to care about more. You not having an orgasm or hurting the feelings of your partner, because at the end of the day, you're like taking away from yourself to please another person.
Right, and having an orgasm releases so much tension from your body. I feel like a lot of us on the everyday need to release. You're like, when you go to sleep like a baby after you orgasm. Do you not want that? I don't get it. For 10 years?
Well, my whole thing is that how well do women really know their bodies? Because you say that, but panel of 4 right now, 4 women, 2 in the audience right now, right? Every sexual experience, does that lead to an orgasm?
Yes, I don't play that shit. No.
Be honest. Oh, okay. Listen.
Not
every
That's what I'm about to see. Let's talk about it.
That's obviously the goal, but there's things that can happen that'll fuck that up. Sometimes the mood gets fucked up, the doorbell done rang. So you ain't always gonna make that. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, the real tea is they be busting before you bust. That's the real problem.
Whoa.
Before the woman.
You're not about to do that to my man.
I just open the can.
It needs to be said. Like sex should not be over when the man.
There's a lot of selfish lovers.
You're not about to do that to my. Listen, you're not about to do this to the men right about now. We're not doing. Listen.
Y'all busting nut, y'all happy, and then the woman's not happy.
That's not every situation, but it's a lot.
It's
Listen.
a lot.
And that's because a lot of people aren't connected with the energy of it. Because like y'all said, all right, to orgasm, you gotta be in the right mindset too. So if a person's not turning you on mentally, sometimes you might just do it, but you ain't really there because
I'm never faking it.
Other things
You
like
don't
that.
know.
You don't know.
That's a fact. Before I fake it, I'm just not saying shit.
I ain't saying shit.
I ain't gonna say nothing, like, I just ain't gonna talk about it. You should know by that more than likely. I mean, everybody don't always talk about it after, like, damn, I was lit. You know what I'm saying? Unless it really was, like, super lit. If it was regular and everybody, you know what I'm saying? But if I don't, probably just not gonna say nothing and probably just not going down again. And
So would you call that person back?
They said two of booty. She just said probably not call back.
But it depends on the level of it, because if you've been with
because
somebody
if you're dating
for a while,
somebody, exactly.
you're gonna want to work that out. You're gonna want to talk to them, communicate with them. Versus if it's somebody new, you like, fuck
If
out
you
of here.
can't fix it, you can't fix it.
That's most people. If it's
Know
somebody
your
new,
worth.
they're gonna just be like, fuck out of here.
Know your
If
worth.
it's somebody you've been dealing with and it was lit in the beginning and something happened along the way, now you trying to figure out what the fuck's
Trying to
going
go
on.
back.
I feel like there's always things
Versus
that you
it's
could
just not
add
good from the beginning.
in
You
the
feel me?
bedroom
It's a little
when
different.
like there's other ways that you can have an orgasm. I feel like if we're talking about a person that you just met and they don't do what they do, then it's like, all right, cool. But if it's a person you have a relationship, it's a person you like, I feel like there's other things you can bring into the bedroom if they're incapable of doing those things, or like
there are
oral
ways.
toys. Like there's other ways.
There are
Like
ways.
that's why I'm like, she didn't have an orgasm at all for 10 years. Like she
Yeah.
didn't do anything
10
else.
years.
It was
I
just
bet
like,
you.
That's why I said I don't believe that statement.
It might be
The way
cap.
it was said probably isn't literal to how it's
yeah,
said.
or maybe he like couldn't, as far as penetration, couldn't give him one, or like.
But I just still
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that wasn't for the whole media.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Because
already out there.
I felt like that really emasculated him.
Yeah.
It made him look like a whole simp, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if anybody knows who, DJ Envy is, he's always put out this macho bravado, I'm a star.
Provider.
You know what I mean?
Which
Provider.
he should.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He should.
So now, I want to say for the male community, it didn't do any justice. It was a great conversation and something to put out for the women to finally not be scared to address
Yeah, because it's
Right?
a conversation that needed to have been had, because there's a
In
lot of women
private.
dealing with it.
in private,
I
right?
think it should have been had in private.
Yeah.
I completely agree. But as far as a community, it's something that we need to talk about in a community.
Yeah.
I feel like men need to understand that sex is not over when you have your orgasm. Like, we still have needs, we still have wants. And not only, it's like if we're about to orgasm, it's even more frustrating. It takes away all of the great things that happened prior. If it's just like, even if we're closer and then it's just like over, that's
Right.
frustrating.
Nah,
It's
that
like,
shit right
it's
there.
not fun. It's like the female equivalent of like blue balls. Like, seriously, we have that as
That
well. where
shit
it's like,
right there when
you
you're
get-
about to and it don't.
and then it don't,
Fight
yo, it's-
somebody.
Your stomach
you
hurt.
get aggressive, you get upset.
Oh my god.
So
You say your
I feel like
stomach hurt?
it's a conversation that needs to have.
What
Except my
the
stomach.
Damn. Holding nuts.
All right, so listen. Have you ever been in a situation where you was about to have sex with somebody and the man couldn't get erect?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Erectile
Don't be scared.
dysfunction?
And
Yeah.
I'm smiling because
No.
I find it to be so cute because
You
they
find
were
it to be
nervous.
cute?
They were nervous.
Whoa,
That's
that
like-
is that is not a cute
okay.
thing.
No, I found it cute because they were nervous around me. So I'm like, wow, like I have that much of effect on you that you can't even get it together. But knowing me, the type of person I am,
That's
after-
annoying though. That was cute for like 1.3
Yeah, but it's like, I
seconds,
know
and then
how
that
to-
first like,
Yeah.
like get it together.
But I know how to get them together. So yeah,
Yeah.
I experienced that before.
Oh, that I never experienced.
I never
But
experienced
when I was 18, I did do with somebody that was like 2 minutes. and done.
Oh, quick pumping.
And you're 10 years older than me. That's terrible.
I
I
had
thought that
That's a
was
lot of those.
I was just like, Jesus
that was
Christ.
terrible.
Mm.
But just not to actually get it up at all now.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
like at all.
function, and you
Yeah.
need to see a
Yeah.
doctor.
That's
You need to see a physician about
Well,
that.
maybe he was nervous. Maybe he wasn't that turned on. There's a lot
No,
of
but
things.
it's a difference between a guy being nervous and him having erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with a guy that has erectile dysfunction, and I don't even think he knows he has erectile dysfunction. And it's like, bro, you need to go to your physician because I know he's still having this issue with other women.
Mm-hmm.
God go with him, but.
Hey, shout out to you.
Sorry to that man.
Shout out to
He'll
you.
be
Shout out to you. Hey, shout out to you.
It'll be fine.
But yeah, like when it's nerves, like I feel like, either it just passes or, as a woman, there's things that we can do, to help them out.
Yeah, just relax.
Yeah.
And breathe.
Well, that's why I'm a
talk.
firm believer of taking time anyways. Because
That's
when you
good.
take
Yeah,
time,
Exactly.
all of that shit should be out the window anyway. Now, of course, somebody gonna be in their nerves if it's like first day, second day, but
Yeah.
when you take that time, then, and I mean, sometimes I just feel like it ain't going nowhere anyway. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
it's sometimes
Yeah.
overrated. Like, you don't. It's backwards why people have sex first and then want to fucking get to know the person.
Yeah.
Or now you want to find out this motherfucker got erectile dysfunction. Like
That
if
is
you had a
true.
chill
And
that motherfucker
bipolar.
a little while, you would have probably found that shit out.
And bipolar.
And that's another thing is rushing too. I do agree with that. When you rush, that is a big. That plays a big part with the not getting up, rushing.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. You brought that up because how long should you wait? Should you have till you have sex?
As long as you and the person is comfortable with waiting, I feel like
Yeah, it's the vibe.
it's, it's
I
the
honestly
vibe.
say at least.
I say 2 to 3 business days.
Oh.
Depends
You
on
know
the
what? You
vibe.
don't even deserve to get your mail for that. You need to deal with COVID mail.
2 to
That
3
was
business
like
days.
8 to 10, nah. But I feel like at least 2 months only because that's the problem in society now is everybody wants to rush into having a title and into having sex with somebody that you don't know just to find out you don't even really like this motherfucker.
That's a fact.
This motherfucker
Well, you
can't
know-
cook, this motherfucker can't roll, this motherfucker can't get a bag,
It's
don't got no
schizophrenic.
ambition. You had to chill with a motherfucker on some real cool shit for at least a couple of months, at least a month.
Yeah.
But
At least a
sometimes-
month. People don't really even give shit a whole
month is
month,
very-
and that
Yeah.
also depends on how long,
That's
or how often you chill with them too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if you're only chilling with that person, let's just say not often enough, that 2 months is gonna feel like, you know what I'm saying? You still didn't really get to know much about the person.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's already a sign right there. If you could be around somebody, then that's already a sign that it's going in a good direction. The fact that y'all both enjoy being around each other and want to be around each other. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what friends do? So at the end of the day,
You gotta be peaceful.
I'm
right?
really like devil's advocate, right? I feel like sometimes, and this is just sometimes, it's like you're dealing with a person, and I feel like after nut clarity is just as important for men as it is for women. Because sometimes you don't have sex with someone, and then you like imagine some stuff with them, and it's like, oh, they're great, but then it's like sometimes after having sex with them, it's just like, okay.
I understand what you're saying. You're
Like,
saying after the
sometimes you're
anticipation is built up
Yeah.
that
It
long.
wasn't hitting.
But
It's
that's
just like it's
but that's
even
part of
hitting.
the but that's part of being real with yourself.
Yeah,
That you're
yeah.
actually taking time and being patient.
Yeah.
Because then there shouldn't be too much of anticipation. Like
Yeah.
it's there in the background, but it's not like every time y'all
Yeah.
chill, you like, damn, I can't be fucking.
No, not that.
And
That's
then,
not what
and
I
then
mean.
if you're always talking about it and not
Yeah.
having another
Yeah.
dynamic
Yeah.
conversation, then that's what it's gonna be on your mind is when y'all have sex and y'all talk about it so much that you have such a high expectation. But if you talk about it a little bit and get out the way, boom, boom, and now y'all actually having other intellectual conversations.
That's not what I mean. I agree with that completely, but I'm also talking about like even when you're dating somebody, right? And then it's like you guys don't even talk about sex. Sometimes it's just like maybe it's just with me personally, I don't know. But sometimes even if you're dating somebody, it's like okay, they're cool, and then after maybe it's either with time or with sex, and that's why I'm gonna say I'm a devil's advocate, and it's not necessarily an experience. But it's like sometimes it's either with time going by or just having sex with them. It's just like okay, well. Certain things weren't hitting as much as you thought they were, or like you find you're a little bit more particular with like, okay, they're doing with this thing, you know, just like just extra things that you just didn't really notice before because you were just like excited about.
I
the
mean, of
person.
course, taking a couple of months to get to know somebody before you
Yeah.
fuck them, you're not gonna know
Yeah.
everything in that couple of months, but it still gives you.
Sometimes
a
they change
standpoint.
after they get the cooch, and
It
then
gives
it's like
you
a
enough.
week later they're a whole other person.
It gives you enough because you gotta get a dynamic.
What do you mean we
of a
changed?
person.
Whoa.
Sometimes-
You're not gonna speed past that. You
No,
gonna,
but that's
hold
what
on.
I mean. I
Who
feel
changing?
with
Who's
us-
changing?
With quote unquote after
Don't be
clarity,
weird with me.
It's a thing for men and a thing for women. I can't.
One hand on frontal.
I mean,
One hand on shoulder.
I feel like
Leg up with a
sometimes,
bed
like,
post.
people change, mainly men. I'm gonna say the male species.
Whoa.
After sex,
Don't be
sometimes they
weird to
like-
me. Men are not changing.
I feel like after sex, it's like all of the roses and the petals and everything that they were doing for you before. It's just like some of those things like start to.
I know what you mean, like the lead
So it's not
up and the
necessarily just with the
foreplay
woman.
and
Don't stop.
Yeah,
And
but I'm
the
talking about in their
foreign-
relationship. I'm like, I feel like when they're trying to pursue a woman, and that's why even with women, why they like are not interested as much anymore as well. Because when you're pursuing a woman, it's like you do all of these things, you go all out, and then after a while, it's just like, okay, I got it, so I don't gotta do this as much.
The hype
You're
is
not
on
going
them.
on as many dates. So that even as a woman, it's like after sex, it's just like certain clarity. It's like now you're spending more time with them, you're talking to them more. It's not as exciting as dating. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, there are a lot of things that I didn't necessarily see because it was the honeymoon stage or the pursuing stage. So that's for men, to me, men and women. I feel like after a certain time.
I know what you mean. Like people stop doing stuff.
Yeah,
after a while.
and then women we kind of aren't as
Some people just don't
excited.
keep the spark up.
Yeah, like I feel like that's super
Keep the
important.
Their
spark.
attention
Wait a
gets
minute.
sparked
Keep
up.
the spark.
I could have swore that dating was a two-person game.
It is.
It is.
But a man's also supposed to lead too. So naturally, a lot of men want women to submit.
Mhm.
But if you are
What
not,
if we
Give me
submit?
something,
yeah. you gotta have some type of substance. You can't just be a man that doesn't have any value. Like you need to be a man with a plan. You need
But
to have
we
a vision.
also have to be women of value as
Of
well.
course.
Exactly.
But
I
that's
feel like you
why.
could be a woman of value and still be submissive.
Yes, and I feel like you could pick and choose who you're submissive to, which is the truth. Because not every man is worth submitting to. Like some men will lead you down a red brick road and caca voyer. You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? You need to like you got to use discernment with dating now, especially now. Like it's too much going on. Like,
So when you say some men are worth submitting to, right? Is that being feminine all the time or half of the time? Because now you're saying that your femininity is conditional, only for the right time, only for the right man.
I feel like just being
you know what I'm
me
saying?
is being me, and I feel like sometimes there is too much stereotypical shit that people box you into. Like, oh, you're a woman, so you shouldn't talk like this, or you shouldn't be. No, I'm fucking me, so this is why the fuck you should have got to know me before you talk about I love you and blah blah blah. Because guess what? Now you realize you don't like how hard I talk or how stern I talk, even though you know what I'm saying. Had you taken the time out instead of assuming how you think I'm gonna be, you actually know because you chilled around me on some regular shit and you see how I talk or you see how I react or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like there's no certain way a woman's supposed to be. A woman's gonna just be who she is, depending on her environmental circumstances and how she was raised and her experiences, and the same for men. But when men put women in a box that they should be this and should be that, or women should cook, bitch, I don't like to cook.
But you know,
I could cook though, but I don't like to cook. So that don't mean I have to cook. Because guess what? I was in a situation where I was cooking, even though I didn't like to cook, but the second shit wasn't going that great. I was cooking less because I was doing it out of love. It wasn't out of fucking obligation.
Yes.
I'm not cooking because I have to.
Out of love.
Cooking because I want to. Because I love
feel like in every relationship, these are like you were saying, like conversations that you need to have because I feel like no matter what, there should be a feminine energy and a masculine energy. Because sometimes I feel like I'm a dominant woman, and I either need like a super dominant on his game man or submissive man that when I'm doing my thing, it's just like, yo, I just need you to be the submissive person. And I feel like that's based off of the dynamic of that relationship. Knowing your gender role, even, it's only because it's 2022. Because back in the day, like women used to do whatever. It's 2022 now. Women are making more money than men and stuff like that. So when you are a dominant woman,
whoa.
Sometimes women can make more money than.
Oh, sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah, no, not all the time. But back in the day, like the man was the breadwinner. Now women are making more money than men sometimes. You know, so it's like, as a dominant woman, it's like you either understand that you have to find a submissive man and like deal with that, and you're the masculine in the relationship, or you find a super dominant man that's like where you feel comfortable being submissive. Because us as women, we can do whatever we want. Like we choose to be submissive, and that's things that men need to understand. So it's like you have to either understand, okay, get a dom or get a submissive man, but also not emasculating that person because they're submissive.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you willing to take care of a man? Because you said two things, right? You said women are making more money than men, right? And as a dominant female, you got to find a submissive man.
Either a submissive man or a person that's more dominant than you are. Because as a dominant woman, it can be an ego battle, I feel, in a relationship. And majority of the time as a dominant person, there's a quote that was like, you can tell me what to do and I'm gonna let you tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do, because it's like, it's a personality trait. We wouldn't respect you if we see some foo-foo, like, oh, you're fake dominant. We can see that. So it's like, I'm not gonna really respect certain things if you don't even know who you are and you're trying to like be dominant over me. Like now we're gonna be at an ego war, and that's horrible for a relationship. So it's like, either you really be a dom that who you are, or you be a submiss and let me take the lead. I feel like that's conversations that we need to have in 2022, where we're not like emasculating men because they're the sub. But I feel like men need to understand that it's okay to be submissive when you're dealing with a dominant woman, instead of trying to change them. Like that's something you have to figure out within yourself.
What about you?
You really want to hear that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, listen. Just to touch back on what you said, I feel like I don't want to be the like masculine person in a relationship. I want to actually like be submissive, because I'm a businesswoman, so I'm always in a masculine energy when I'm doing business. I have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of industry, it's a doggy dog world. So when I come home, I don't want to feel like I need to always be like I want to be able to be soft. I want to be in, you know, just to be able to be in my feminine, like, you know, my feelings are taken care of, like, you know what I'm saying, in a sense like that. Things I didn't think, like little things that I didn't think that would affect me, because it's about the balance, because who wants to always be in a constant, like, aggressive energy? You don't always want to be like that. Sometimes it's hard, like, you know, especially in this world, you're a woman, we have to protect ourselves. So a lot of us, people think, oh, we're being aggressive. No, like, you don't know what it is.
Dominance is aggression, though, and I feel like that's the problem with men. I feel like just because you're aggressive, they think they're being dominant. Yeah, and that's not true.
It's not true. Like, people think, oh, she's aggressive, she's this. No, that's not the case. Maybe, like, you know, if you get to know me, you'll see I'm not, like, you know, depending on what kind of situation we have going on. But I just feel like me personally, I just don't want to be in something where I feel like I always have to take lead. Like, I want to be able to see.
So you want to sit back in your femininity, right?
Yes, I do.
So that means aggression is not part of femininity.
That's what you said.
Okay.
I said like what I'm saying is aggression is not a part. In a sense, you could say aggression is not a part, but that's just if that's who the person is. She could probably be an aggressive person, but to you, she's nice. You know what I'm saying? But that's just her demeanor. But when she's with you, she's like, you know, if you bring that peace out in her, she's calm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people just get that delivery based on their energy. Like, you know.
But that's why I think it goes back to, like I said, balance. Because I was sitting over here like it's really about the balance.
Yeah, it's balance.
It's about knowing when and when not to. It's just a time and a place for everything. I feel sometimes. So it's like I feel like I am very dominant in some ways, but and I feel like I'm a boss, but I feel like I'm a boss to me. I don't try to boss nobody around. That's just who I am. Yeah. I think everybody's different because there's some women that want everything taken care of, and they don't even want to go out and work and be a businesswoman, and the man do as well. Some women are looking for that out to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody that got it, and I don't gotta do nothing now. I'm getting with somebody that got the bag and that likes to be in charge. But that's why a lot of times those situations don't work because then it becomes too much because there's no balance. Now the person feels overwhelmed, controlled, and they don't feel no freedom. But it's about the choices we make. A lot of people put themselves in those situations and then are not really real about how to handle in that situation fully. A lot of people want to deal with stuff they're not really ready for. Just like there's a lot of men out there that want to deal. I say this all the time on my stream. There's a lot of men out there that say they're ready for a certain type of woman, and they're not. You want that woman that gives you the image of what everything that you want, but when she turns out to be the woman that wants to settle down, have kids, and have a family, and you realize that, which you can't within a day or two of fucking, right? So now you want to fuck and then find out this person wants a family and that's not the shit you want. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times because the pussy good, you stick around knowing that this is not even something that you really foresee in your future because they don't really match up everything. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I be like, there's sometimes a lot of men that say, oh yeah, I want this woman, I want her. And now they just looking at everything on their stereo, but then when they realize, okay, she's the type of woman that wants a family, you still dealing with her knowing that you're not going to give her what she wants. And that's selfish as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I be around, I have a lot of homeboys, you know what I'm saying? So I be knowing, and then I'm into women. So I also look at it like, okay, that's how you do? Okay, that's exactly why I'm good. You feel me? Because as a woman dealing with women, I wouldn't move like that. And that's just because I'm being real. Not because I feel like, oh, I'm playing a role. I don't have to play nothing because I'm just being me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just feel like be real what you're ready for. If you're not ready to fuck with a woman that's settling down, then fuck with a bitch that's out there doing her. But a lot of niggas don't want to deal with what comes with a woman that's moving like that. So now you want to have this and you want to have that. And this is why I feel a lot of men cheat because they want different women for different purposes. You got a bitch
oh my God.
And then you got a bitch that
here go natural.
Wait, what you say?
Here go natural preaching. She's preaching.
I'm not preaching. I'm just talking that real shit all day. I'm just saying that. I think we all saying that real shit all day, but I just be sitting back listening because I just like, I see both sides of it. And I see a lot of men that go for women that they're not ready for and then complain about certain things. And it's like, but you could have just went to The 10 bitches up the block that's starting it out that don't want to settle down. But why do you want to fuck with the bitch that's settling down? Because you don't like all the shit that comes with a woman. Because you don't really like all the shit that comes with a woman that really ain't trying to settle down.
Exactly.
So now you want to deal with all the shit with this girl, but she really want to settle down.
Yeah.
And you're not really ready for that. So you're playing with you're playing with it, and you're trying to trick the universe because you're not really ready for it, but you're trying to portray that you are, and that can't stand for that long. Because now when that woman that want to settle down want to do real grown shit, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go to a museum. You don't want to go out.
So going to a museum equals settling down?
No, it's not.
No,
I'm saying that.
Listen, I'm
When you
talking
settle
shit, but I'm gonna spice it up because I
when
didn't.
you settle down, you gotta be able to compromise with the person that you claim you want to settle down with. If they want to do certain things and that's not your flavor, then that means that person was never for you because y'all don't even want to be around each other because y'all don't have the same interests at all. You know what I'm talking about? Besides fucking, that shit gets old after a while. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people cheat because the interest, just the fucking alone, is not gonna carry everything. Now you don't like the person vibe, you don't like the person being, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They come around your friends, they weird, they corny about shit, and you just like, nah. All right, I'm only keeping you inside the fuck. That's it. We're not going outside the fuck.
So,
and that's a sad
so are you ready to settle down?
Am I ready to settle down? Of course.
I don't want to put you on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put.
I've been the type though. I was in a 10-year relationship with a female, so yeah, I've been the type, and I was from 21 to 31. So, and have I been in the mentality to settle down? Yes. So in any situation I get in, I'm always about the real shit about it, not just the moment.
Together.
I'm always looking long term. I'm not at the moment like, okay, this is fun for the moment. I like how they look, and I like. As you get older, you start seeing some of that shit is overrated.
What really matters,
Yeah. So you just, I like the package. You know what I'm saying?
Package,
Yeah, it's about a package.
So, what about you? Are you ready to settle
Need
down?
to look for.
Yeah, at this point in my life, I feel like there was a time I was engaged 5 years, living together, did everything, but I feel like there was a point where it's just like I don't want to do this because I feel like as a dom, I felt like I had to be, in order to be submissive, it was certain things that I felt like I would have to do in a relationship because I believe in certain things with gender roles, and I like to cook, I like to do stuff like that, so I was putting certain things back. And I feel like that was a me thing where I had to be like, okay, I'm a businesswoman. I put my business to the side for a person to help push your dreams because I felt like men should be the money winner, men should be the breadwinner. So I knew where I was mentally and where I was with business, and I chose to help that person. So I felt like right now, after being out of that, I'm like, I'm only focusing on myself. And that's how I was for a couple years. But at this point right now, I feel like I understand myself. I did the shadow work within myself to know how to balance my relationship and my business. And I feel like it's very important to just do the work in yourself. Like, if you leave a relationship and you feel like you just lost out on your life, then I feel like you did something wrong. You should always leave every relationship with learning and knowing more things about yourself and what you want, you know?
Right. You better stop saying dom, they're gonna think you a dominatrix.
Oh no, dominant person.
I'm messing with you.
Oh no.
And we got on black, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, second one from the intern.
But yeah, right now I don't mind settling down, but I feel like now it's like coming to the table where it's like what I'm allowed to put to the side. Like my business is always going to come equal to first, and just as long as they understand that, then you know.
So
I can settle down.
how you plan on managing a relationship, running your business, and have a fruitful relationship? Because something got to give. Because we said earlier that femininity requires submission. So if you want to be a businesswoman out there conquering the world, that's fine. But then when you get into how you gonna take care of your man,
That's not the issue.
it is an issue.
I don't
Because you gotta figure out what's come first for you, right? Okay, I'll throw you a scenario.
But if you're with a person that's not understanding of certain things for your business, and that's also not, because like I'm not gonna say like, okay, yeah, today's date night and I'm gonna cancel on you every single day. Like that's messed up, but it's like it's compromising. It's like, okay, you know, I did do this a couple times. Hey, this experience or going to this event is way more important than like this event. So I really want to go here. You can come with me. You can. I'm not gonna like. I don't think you should just always be canceling on somebody because you do have to have that balance in your relationship and your business.
It's a thing because when you're with somebody, I mean, of course you gotta respect your business, but I don't know. Me,
like sorry, I feel like with that I'm in like with sorry, spontaneous things. Sorry,
right.
Because I feel like sometimes with the business that I'm in, it's like I might get an opportunity and it's like, yo, be here in like 10 hours and and then it's like, hey, we were supposed to do this and such and such and such. Like, I'm so sorry, but this is a great experience, or this is a great, like, this is gonna really help for my career. So I feel like that's what I meant. I don't mean like I just sit there canceling on people for no reason. Sorry.
No, I didn't think you were saying that.
But yeah, I just think it's like a balance. Like, you should put your relationship first when it's important. Like, if they're with you, need to understand when you're doing something for your business and, you know, being able to be okay with that.
I think you guys should both be.
Yeah.
You should be a businessman too.
Yeah, I would love to date a businessman as well that will have like, even if he does the same thing to me, it's the level of understanding that we have with each other because we know what's coming first. Like, we know the relationships first, but we push together as a unit for our business. So.
What about you?
What?
Are you ready to say?
Are you ready to
I'm waiting for Jesus.
You're waiting for Jesus?
Jesus.
Jesus is not gonna help you find a man. You gotta
That's
actively
exactly who you gotta go to first before finding a man.
He gotta
No.
find me.
Where in the Bible it says you need to go to Jesus
He
to find a
gotta,
man?
he gotta find me.
Where it says
I feel like you need to have
He gotta
spirituality to, you know,
He gonna find
for
me. Don't worry.
intuition.
When the time is right, the time is right. If the time not right, I don't rush nothing.
all right. So what if you never settle down? What if you never get married?
No, I know I'm gonna get married.
How you know that?
I know that.
How?
Basically, how would you feel if in the future you don't get married? It's a possibility.
I mean, it's a possibility. I wouldn't. I'd be
3 out
rich
of 4
auntie.
women.
That's
Three,
fine.
three out of 4 women will not get married in their lifetime in the black community.
Well,
That's one of
listen.
us.
That's how
It's 4 women right now.
I've never been engaged before.
Huh?
Me neither. I've never been engaged, and y'all heard
Okay,
me say I was
so
in 10
you might be one of the 3 that might not get married.
Mind's your business. Right?
No. I'm just saying. No. Let's talk about it, right? Because this is open discussion. We're not here to hurt feelings. We're here to, just talk, conversate,
Nah, I know.
Say.
right? So now back to you. You said you're waiting on Jesus, right? How waiting on Jesus to put a man?
Oh, no, I'm not saying it like that. But I'm
Okay,
just saying.
yeah. So
I'm just saying, like, the way, like, I've been in things that was very draining to my mental, and I felt like coming out of that, I had to really learn myself again. I had to really learn my boundaries and put my boundaries up with people, because boundaries is a very important thing. People will come and siphon your energy, and it's like draining. Like, I don't want to ever be in anything that's draining me. I don't ever want to feel like in a mental space where I'm just not happy, like where I'm not me. So I think, like, me loving myself, I feel like when you love yourself, the right person comes. Like, you attract the right person, because the more you love yourself, the more you take care of yourself, the more you put yourself on, the right people, your soul tribe, even new friends, new guys, like, you attract different people. So I feel like I had to love me first, like, you know what I'm saying? I had to love myself first. And that's what I've been doing. I love myself to the point, like, I go out to eat by myself, like, I travel by myself, like, I love myself, but it's like, I know that I attract the right people now versus 5 years ago what I attracted, because I was in a different space mentally.
Yeah.
I was low vibrating, I was hurt, I was all these things, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's very essential for people who are single also. Like, you really need to take time for yourself. There are people that just jump in relationship.
Yeah.
They never have time for themselves. You need to have a moment where you have time and you figure out who the fuck you are. Not nobody else. You don't need to be building somebody else and then you, like, nothing is going on with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why people end up in, I don't like, if I'm gonna get married, I wanna get married once. Like, I don't wanna have to go through the whole motions again. But at least when I want it, I wanted to be, at least be with someone that I could be like, all right, I could wake up to every day, like, you're my best friend, like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a vibe, like, it's just positivity. And I feel like a lot of people are in relationships that they're not really aligned, like, you know what I'm saying? That's not your person, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you find out, it's sometimes a year from now, a person could show his true colors, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, like, you really don't know, but I just feel like the more you love yourself, the more you attract the right people. So I'm just loving myself, and then the right men will attract to me.
So my thing is that, are you putting yourself in a position to meet the man that you want?
I mean,
Because they are out there.
yeah.
But if you're not in the vicinity, or if you're not actively trying to be in the vicinity of the man that you want, how long are you willing to wait?
I mean, I could be honest, I'm really not, I don't think about that. Like, Like before, I feel like before I used to think about, oh, like I don't think about that.
I mean, she wants it to happen
naturally.
What vicinity is that?
Yeah, I let it happen.
Is that like
Hold
she
on,
went
hold
like
on,
Pokemon
hold on.
Go and you got
No, I'm just.
you're like in the park to the left and you swing that is right there.
What about you? What about you? Are you willing? Are you willing to settle down?
Yeah, speak about yourself.
Are you? Oh, wait. Am I catching you off guard right now? Who's watching?
No, because my mind just drifted. Hearing her talk, my mind like literally drifted in a good place because I was really like listening to what she was saying. But am I ready to settle down now?
Mm.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why
I
not?
know.
How long are you willing to wait?
I give myself 2 years.
How old are you now?
I'm 27.
So 27 will put you in 29. 29. You plan on having kids?
I have a daughter.
You plan? Okay, so you plan on getting married?
It'll be nice to get married.
And
I say like cause it's like a on and off thing with me in marriage. 1 minute I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to get married. It's such a beautiful thing. And then 1 minute it's just like, I don't want nothing to do with it. I see what happens. I'm like, no, cause I like my freedom. I've dealt with men that were very obsessive and possessive. So I'm just trying to not fall back into that. So every relationship I get into, I'm very vocal because I was never vocal in my past relationships. I used to like I honestly had them because I didn't grow up with my dad. So it's like I noticed in my relationships I was looking for a daddy.
Yeah.
That male
Parental issue.
so now it's
Speak on it.
now
Yeah.
it's just like I don't play that shit. I put my foot down. I'm very vocal to the point where some men would say that my personality is kind of big, and it's like I've been quiet for years. You guys are going to fucking hear me. So it depends on what day you ask me if I want marriage. It's like, but overall, I think I do.
No, I'm screaming.
Overall.
But overall, I know deep down inside I do want marriage because it's a beautiful thing. Like, who doesn't want to have a soulmate? And I think that's beautiful. Yeah.
I think overall the whole point is that I think all of you ladies want to get married
Yeah.
at some point, right?
Yeah. At some
But there's
point.
certain liberties that you are not willing to give up. But that's what marriage is about.
That's the thing.
I mean-
I'm very old fashioned. So I don't mind that old school relationship where the man leads.
You gotta be ill.
That's what I'm saying. The type of
But
person I am.
why it got to be conditional though?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like because I feel like I come with a lot, so it's like not saying a lot, but
You bring a lot.
I bring a lot to the table. I am a table for myself, like you know what I'm saying. So I feel like I add value. I don't decrease you. I add value, like you know what I'm saying. So it's like I feel like if we're gonna both add value to each other, we both have to bring some type of substance to each other. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be, all right, we married, we fucked, we clean. No, it's not that. We gotta like, because I think what I believe in marriage is a kingdom. This is a line, like this is a God-given task. I have a task to carry out. You know what I'm saying? There's a task. We're gonna do charity to the day that we die and help other people. Like there's the task. Like you know what I'm saying? I feel like marriage is not just like all love and stuff like that. It's like a union. It's a business. You gotta be able to. There's sacrifice. That sometimes you're gonna be behind. He's gonna be ahead. Sometimes you're gonna be behind. He's gonna be behind. It's like contradicting, but it gotta be the person that you really want to do that with. Like you know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, yo, this is my person. This is my divine person. This is the mission that we're carrying out. Like you know what I'm saying? There's a mission with marriage. It's not just marriage. There is a mission. Like there's something that you have to complete on this God-given earth for you, like to help somebody else. Like you know, that's how I feel. That's just my personal views.
You're tripping over there. What's going on? What are you triggering?
Oh no, I'm just listening.
Okay. So
And
now,
I'm trying to stop tearing.
one thing I heard from all of you ladies is that I heard hurt. Right? Not hurt. When I say hurt, and I want to clarify what I'm saying, right? Not that you guys are hurt, but there was something that happened in a previous relationship that caused some type of trauma, right? So how you getting over that, and how you not bringing that into another relationship, right? Because what seems to happen, you get into a relationship. I think one of you guys said it earlier. He's cheating. He's doing this. He's acting away, right? But if you're bringing that in the relationship, how is that helping the relationship go forward, right? What I'm saying is that like whatever happened in the past, Are you keeping it in the past, or you bringing that as one of those? Oh, I got a red flag. Or I got to watch out for this, and I got to watch out for that.
I feel like it's important to, and that's what you're saying too, take that time out in between relationships to find out who you are. And even what I had said earlier, it's like if you leave a relationship, you know, it's never only the opposite person's fault. Like, what did you do wrong? You have to be very honest with yourself, and you have to do the shadow work with yourself. Like, what can I have done differently? You don't have to say it to your friends or whatever, but to yourself, what can I do differently? What was my problem? What can I change? And then you have to have that time where you're by yourself, emotionally alone, so that you know who you are again outside of being in a relationship, because you're another person in one. And then just finding out who you are and what you really want, so that when you're going into that new relationship, exactly, you have those boundaries of, okay, I see this, that reminds me of that. You can, if you like the person, address it. I don't like this, this reminds me of so and so. Like, it's a level of transparency that you have with the person. If you want to open up with them and say, this reminds me of something, this red flag that you did reminds me of such and such and such. So, you know, you can't do that again if it continues and it's just like out. It's like, it's a level of transparency that you have to have with yourself and your partner.
Because you know what it is? It's a lot of people are so used to toxic situations, so they get away with a lot of things. So what they think when they meet somebody new, they think that they could do what they did with Shannon. No, you can't. Whatever you did with Shannon, you can't do here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's a boundary thing.
Yeah.
You know, again, because people are used to toxic stuff, so they're used to not. There's some men that never really know how to treat a woman until they meet a girl that was like, no, this is how I expect to be treated. You know what I'm saying? They just used to just giving the shitty end of the stick, and then that's it. Same thing with girls. There's some girls that don't know how to treat a man at all. They're just used to giving him the shitty end of the stick, but then requiring everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta put your boundaries up.
Nip stuff in the butt.
Yeah.
So what are some red flags in a relationship? Right? You meet somebody new. What are some red flags that you're like, well, you know what? I don't think I can mess with this person right here.
I feel like everyone has different red flags. Because me personally, I know some people that they like telling everybody, oh, I'm here, or their boyfriend, oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's like me, I feel like I'm an air sign, I'm a Gemini. So I'm very spontaneous. Like, so sometimes if I say like, oh, I'm here with Rose, and then like something would happen, I would be here in 2 seconds. And sometimes it's like, I feel like what a problem in my previous relationships was like, I seemed like I was lying on where I was. But sometimes things would be so spontaneous that it would be like, oh, I went from here to here, but I'm not gonna sit here texting you every second of the day, every move that I did. And
because I feel like that's like walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
At that point,
yeah.
it's like, damn, now I feel if
I mean, that's not
again,
that's
like
not
you said,
that's not a red flag. That's communication. You gotta communicate.
No. That's my
It's
red
a
flag
place-
right there,
yeah.
lack of communication. But sometimes there's a point when a person could OD on expectation.
Yeah.
Like she said, I dealt with somebody that was like that, where it was like, okay, if they didn't think it was believable, they didn't think you was, they thought I was lying and I wasn't.
And I'm not.
And I understand what she's saying. Like there's a understanding of communication. Like she said, there's people that talk throughout the day. There's some people that don't, and I'm like, wow, that's not me. I like to talk to who I'm with during the day. But if, like she said, as an air sign, I'll just be real quick. As an air sign, you know what I'm saying? You gonna move how you move naturally. So if you, let's say we here and something happened right now.
K-Dub, what's up, baby?
And we
I
gotta
see you.
get up and let's say we gotta switch locations real quick.
Am
Now,
I
if you in a relationship and if the situation is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna make moves and then you'll talk about it later because there's nothing that you're lying about.
Yeah.
Some people want to make an issue out of you didn't tell me.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
When you were doing it, so I can't believe it. But it's like I'm telling you now.
And I feel like
That's the communication. But
I don't want to cut you off. I feel like that's why relationships don't work. At least with me and like other air signs that I do communicate with. That's why relationships don't work, because back in the day, you didn't have a phone to be like, hey, I did this, honey. Hey, da da da. So at the end of the day, you eat, you have dinner, and then you tell them about your day. Like, all of these things happen. Like, you can't even miss your partner anymore, because every second, everything you do, you have to be like, hey, I'm doing this now. Okay, hey, like, I don't even like having my phone on me, and the person that I deal with, I feel like that could be a red flag for somebody that's dating me. Like, oh, she doesn't check her phone, or it could be a person that's like, okay, have time to miss each other.
Yeah.
Because that's why people get tired of people so quickly in relationships for 2-3 months. Because you talk to them every second of the day. You sleep, you fall asleep with them on the phone. You wake up, where's my good morning text? You at work, oh, guess what my manager just did? It's like you can't even go on a date and be like, oh, this is what happened today, because like I know I was there all day when you were texting me telling me
Right.
every single thing.
Yeah,
That is very true.
Like, can I miss you?
Well, I mean, I'm saying that's a love language, right? Communication.
And that's
Yeah, it's a love.
I feel like you
communicate.
gotta have a balance with it.
But
Yeah,
I feel like
there's nothing wrong with talking to your partner.
it's about compatibility. It's like
Yeah.
if you date with somebody that if you're talking to someone and you know that they always want every single second, like if someone comes up to me and they want to text me every second of the day, that's a
I can't
red
do
flag
that.
to me.
No, get out of here.
That might not be for everyone else on the panel, but for me, I can't be texting you every single day.
No.
Like
All right. So
every
what
second.
what is a red flag for you?
Well, me, shit. What she said, the constant texting. What's a red flag? Shit.
Because it seems almost possessive. So it seems like owner.
Exactly.
Like why are you entitled to my time and knowing every single thing that
And
I'm
for me,
doing?
that's trauma because I've dealt with that
Yeah.
10 years ago. Oh my God. 2012? That's 10 years ago?
Yeah.
A little bit more. No.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I was with this guy and he was extremely possessive and obsessive. I had to tell him every single thing I was doing to the point where it was such a routine. It was an everyday thing because I did it one time just being cute because that was like when we were just started talking and I just wanted something to say to him. So I'm like, hey, I'm here. And then he's like, when you told me where you was at, I really liked that. And then me being so young and retarded, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna continue to do that because I know that's what he likes. So I would never do that shit again. If I fuck with you like that, I would, fill you in on my day, but do not text me throughout the day. Do not call me throughout the day. As a man, don't you got some hustling or something on the side you should be doing? There's no way you should be on my heels like that. And another thing, what is that fucking word? What's that fucking word? Insecurity.
Yeah.
That plays a big part when they want to know every single move you make. So for me, that's a red flag. What else is a red flag? If you got multiple girls, I don't do that.
How do you know if you got multiple girls?
You know.
You would know.
How you know?
When your pH balance is off, you know.
You would know. You would know. I
Wait. Woman self-care is woman self-care.
Woman self-care is
And
men,
also,
men's self-care is woman
Oh.
self-care. Like
Nah, you're not
know,
gonna
but that's
Who the fuck
important.
you fucking?
That's really important, and that's how some females know that their men are cheating on them. Is that when they come home or wherever to sleep with them,
Ball sack empty.
it's like vagina irritation. That's how some women know. Like, listen, if you're gonna be out here slinging dick, put on a fucking condom because we have a problem. So that's a red flag. It's a lot of red flags. I just don't want no guy in a relationship because I've dealt with that in the past. I settled for that, and the type of person I am today, I'm not fucking playing. Do not. If you want me, you gotta want me. Like, as a man, you're gonna have a wandering eye. I feel like that's just human nature for men.
yeah, men appeal to beautiful things.
I feel like,
But I want to be the
that's
only
optional.
one. I
That's
want to
what
be
they
the
do.
only one.
People.
woman could be
Men
I wanna
end up
be the
sending
word.
her.
Okay, so women appeal to
Women
other
appeal
things.
to-
No, that's not what I'm saying. But
Exactly.
remember, men are usually the aggressors and everything. Okay, before I get
You know
there,
what
right?
it is? Men just don't have as much restraint and self-control.
You know what my red flag is? When a nigga start asking for
Because we
money.
all love beautiful things.
That's
It's
my
just
red
that
flag.
you gotta just have a respect level of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you already got something beautiful with you, focus on that shit.
All right.
Focus on
okay to
everything
look.
you don't got.
It's okay to look.
So-
But some people just want what they don't got, and that's just what it is. And the thrill of, I want this Xbox and this video game, you get it, and the game sits on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
deep.
it's like, you got the Xbox, you got the game, but are you utilizing it? Because you could do the same thing with a woman. I got her, but what you doing
What you
with
doing
it?
with it? Amen.
So my whole thing is this, right?
I got to sound like church.
My whole,
Every time we get to me,
Like, yeah.
my whole thing is this, right?
oh, here's amen.
My whole thing is this.
I love you.
Have any of you women actively went out and engaged a man?
Yes.
Said, hey, you know what? I like you.
Yes.
I think you're cute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's get something popping.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I did that, and we're friends to this day. I met him 2013 at a Stone Love party at Albany Manor. It is no longer open. They closed that down a couple years ago. It was a big party. I saw him standing by himself. I made sure he was by himself. I approached him, and I asked him, like, "Are you here alone?" And he was just like, "Yeah." And then it's crazy because I actually went there with somebody. So I approached
With
the
the
guy.
dude?
No, that was a friend of mine. I went with.
Shade.
sure, but out of respect, I said, you know what? Let me not do it while he's looking. He's preoccupied. Let me go holler at this guy. And we've been friends since. We played around a couple times, but we've been.
So
really
how
good
come?
friends.
So you made the initial attraction. You made the initial step. So why didn't it go any further? I'm gonna get in your business. There's no holds bar.
Why I didn't go any further? Okay, I was with a guy, the same guy from 2012. I was with him at the time. So that's why I didn't go far, because I was so hooked on that guy. That guy had me like, he had me. I was in love with him. So, yeah.
He was a
But
bad
me
boy.
and-
Was he a bad boy?
Yes,
Do
he
women
was
like bad boys more than good guys?
Love. It's nice to have. I don't know me. I love
See?
a bad boy. It's
So, you know what?
It's such a thrill.
I want to say something, right?
It's a
Women
thrill.
choose bad boys.
It's a thrill.
Women choose bad boys, but they
Bad
complain
boys,
about the end result.
It all depends on the level you at.
Right.
Like
You
I
know
said,
what? I feel like women like feeling protected.
That's what it is.
And
Bad boys
some-
make you feel protected?
And then sometimes when you're dealing with a bad boy personality, their aggression makes you feel like, okay, if something happens, I feel safe.
nah. I
So-
ain't gonna
But
lie.
then there's other things that come with it that you have to once again balance out. Is this worth this?
You gotta be an inch of hood.
Yeah.
And an inch of,
You gotta make me
inch of
feel
hood,
like I'm
inch of
out there.
classy.
See that?
I feel
So,
safe. But if
so
something
basically
goes
you're saying
down-
if a guy works a 9 to 5, he's not a bad boy and he can't make you feel protected.
You could be a
No one
bad
said
boy
that.
and work
You
a
said
9 to
that.
5.
Huh?
You
No,
said that.
the first question I asked, do women like bad boys? You said
I
yes.
said no, personally.
I love a bad boy because I don't know, it's so thrilling. I don't want to be around you when shit
Thrilling.
is going down, because honestly,
Thrilling,
that's
right?
not my place as a woman. I
Yeah.
cannot be around when you hustling and when you on the
Yeah.
block. But it's nice to know that you're, what they call it? What's that shit? Thug appeal. I like that. When a guy is, you gotta, with me, you gotta be a man's man. You gotta be a man's man.
Explain.
You gotta know, you gotta be on your shit. Not on the street shit, you gotta know about a peer.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know how to seduce a woman. Still know how to defend her honor. To me, that's a bad boy, in a sense. A man's man. That's what I like.
So
I like a man that has a past, and I noticed that with myself. I attract men with past.
Okay, now I'm gonna dig a little bit, right? I'm gonna dig a little bit. Does that have something to do with daddy issues?
Oh yeah.
Was your father a thug?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you see that? So now watch this, right? The guy that you want probably might be a 9 to 5 type of man. He might be the man for you, but you might overlook him because he doesn't have that.
No, but see that's the thing with me. I know what I really want and what I really need. I'm gonna play around with the bad boy because it's fun and it's thrilling, but I know at the end of the day, but you need somebody that got their head on their shoulders. That's why I say I go for older men, and the older men that I usually go for, they have a past, which means they've been there, done that. They're not in the streets no more. They're not doing that shit. They're on their shit. And they know, and I know, and he knows. God forbid if something happens, he knows how to handle himself. Basically.
So you want like a retired bad boy? Like,
You want a bad boy that hung his jersey
know
up?
how to be,
No, like one of them. I don't want to say an old gangster, but somebody that's been in the street.
Girl, you know these blocks. I used to run these blocks, girl. You know these blocks? They know me. Yo, who cares?
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
So what about you? You want a bad boy?
You know how to do it.
So why are you over the bad boy phase?
It's just like,
No.
oh, I mean, like if we're talking about bad boys, like the hood people, like I'm more like, why you hugging the block more than you making money? If you hugging the block and you ain't bringing no money in, you need to get off the block because
That's
what the
crazy.
fuck are you doing with your life? Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's some people that just like that's what they do all day long, and I'm not attracted to that. That's like probably high school phase, like whatever. But like we grown, like you have priorities. I shouldn't have more bills than you. Like why am I paying more bills than you and got no fucking priorities? That's like fucked up. It shows like where you are. And there are some men that never ever left New York or Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? That's a stagnancy. Like
That's crazy.
That's complacency. You don't want more for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta want more for yourself. That's like, real nigga shit. Like as a real nigga, you need to want more for yourself, not just for you, but just to be able to have that sense of comfortability. Because I know when like men are not where they're at, they're not happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That they project. When a man is not where he's at financially, he's stressed out, and he projects that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people shouldn't be in a relationship. If you know you're broke, don't be in a relationship. Respectfully.
What do you call broke?
Like, you don't got savings, you don't have nothing to your name, you can't, if God forbid something happened, you don't even have nothing for a rainy day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Period. Like, if you don't have nothing, you should not be in a relationship with nobody.
That is very important.
Because you're really projecting that. Like, it's bad projection that you're projecting, and without even realizing.
Especially when you find a woman that does have that.
Yeah, and then it's like,
insecurity.
you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of insecurity that goes with that. And I just feel like there's a lot of people that do cap, and it's like, there's no reason to cap because we're all fucking human beings. Everybody goes through life. There's some days you're going to be down and sometimes you're going to be up. But like, you got to know how to move. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I know I'm broke, why the fuck am I hugging the block with a bunch of niggas and it's 10 minds together and not one of y'all could think of a plan to get 100K right now, but I'm hugging the block with you? No.
It's a lot of people hugging the block. What about you? You still in the bad boy phase?
No, I don't think.
Because you probably walked past your good guy.
No, I never really was in a bad boy phase. I feel like I had too much to lose. Honestly, I feel like if I do see stuff like that, like I feel like I grew up in the hood. I think that was like my mentality my whole life. I grew up in not the best neighborhood, and I was always like, I don't want to be here.
Yes, a fact.
Since I was like preteen. So it's just like when I see certain things like that, I would quicker miss out on an opportunity with a man that is a bad boy than the other way around. Yeah. Because I don't even acknowledge it.
I don't want that stress.
It's like I don't want I away from it like the plague.
I don't want to worry.
I know the type of boy. I know how to. It's a certain type of bad boy I like.
Yeah.
It's like as long as I know your mind is way bigger than your neighborhood, like. You want so much more, and you talk about it with me. And that's another thing. A guy that expresses himself and talks about the things he wants out of life is very important too.
But it's about action, though. You could talk about it, but there needs to be what are the actions that you're putting towards those goals.
Right.
There's too much. You can't fall in love with potential. I learned that. That's the reality. Potential is either you doing it or you're not fucking doing it. You know what I'm saying? You cannot, because that's how you waste your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You waste your life waiting on potential. Like, oh, that's like, oh, I forgot somebody said something. That's like, okay, being with someone that you say, oh, he has the potential to be in shape. You know what I'm saying? And then you get married, he never get in shape. Then he get, like, when y'all about to divorce, then all of a sudden he get in shape. You can't, that's like potential. You fell in love with the potential. Oh, he would look good if he was like 10 pounds slimmer. He's never gonna be that. That's what you think in your head. It's like, we gotta get out of that.
You gotta fall in love with
what people show you is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you're talking about it, what are you doing behind to get to where you at? You know what I'm saying? You can be talking about the same dream for 5 years and you've never done nothing for it. That's not good.
What about you, Natural?
That's true.
Bad boy? Or you over your bad boy phase?
I don't know what you're talking about. You mean bad girl? No.
Yeah, bad.
But no, I like a balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the person that I'm dealing with, I like a balance. And I do like the good. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, to have the street smarts and the knowledge, don't mean you gotta be dabbling in everything, but to know how to handle yourself in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's survival mode or not. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you might not have to be in survival mode right now, but if that comes, I want to know that you got the mindset to be in that. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, me dealing with women, I'm in that mindset myself, kind of. So it's like, I just want somebody that's gonna match my energy and be in balance with that. You know what I'm saying? And if she on that wave, then we good, because now it's like I don't never rely on somebody else to do it, because what if I'm not with you, or what if something happens? You know what I'm saying? I gotta be able to. I always think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be able to handle that shit if it's just me. So now, if somebody's coming in a situation with me, if she on that mindset, then that's a great thing, because now we just gonna bring that together and shit's gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, it's just about dealing with somebody that got the right intentions. That's what I feel it's all about, and then understanding a person. Because I heard somebody say, you know, that financially or whatever, they, you know, got to bring it together and everything. And that's very true. But at the same time, everything starts from somewhere, and
course.
we all have been in a point we didn't have it. So even if I'm dealing with somebody that don't have it at that moment, as long as I know the ambition is there, the drive is there, and I'm seeing progression and not stagnant, then I'm good. Because you may not have it all, because when I get with you, I may not have it all. I don't want to be judged like I ain't shit because I ain't got it all yet. But if I'm working towards that, and my intentions is that, and I'm continuously having the right mindset, and I'm growing in some kind of way, then that's what really matters.
That's what really matters.
Because I know, you know what I'm saying, I've always been the type to deal with the underdog. Like, I don't always want to, I never wanted to always deal with somebody that just had everything. Cause it's like, I don't really give a, I was raised different, Bob. My dad's a Virgo, so I was raised to be independent and love is unconditional. So I'm looking at it like, look, I'm not going to look at it like I'm going to depend my life on what you got. Because if we break up, I ain't got that shit no more. So I'm not going to get hype with what you got. And I'm not going to demean you if I ain't got a car. And you, I mean, if I ain't got a car and you don't got a car, I'm not gonna say I can't get with somebody that gotta have more than what I got. But at the end of the day, I want to be with somebody it's going in the same mindset direction. You know what I'm saying? You might not have a car at that moment, and I can't judge why you don't, because I don't know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have stolen your car, so you gotta buy your shit could be total. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge it at that moment, but it's about understanding. And then from understanding, you know the mindset of where somebody at with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you a person that just gets mad cars and fucks them up, or are you a person that you don't got a car right now because of a certain situation? That's why communication is always gonna be key. Because, like somebody said, when you said about bringing things from the past in a relationship, I just feel it's very important to take what you learned from a prior relationship as experience. And yes, pay attention to the red flags, but don't judge a person based off of that red flag alone, because that person isn't who you dealt with before. So
and nobody's
even
perfect.
if
nobody is
right, exactly. So even if you see a red flag, try to get some understanding behind it, and try to you know like figure that out with communication. Because now when you talk to them, you might realize, all right, it might have seemed similar, but it's totally different. And what they're dealing with is something that they can get over. Because now you're somebody that's being positive talking to them, versus if everybody demeaning them the whole way through, that cycle just keeps continuing to go. You know what I'm saying? When a person gets understanding, now when you're uplifting them or you're giving them something to base off of versus just demeaning them, now they have something to think about and go off of, and then you could say, all right, I've talked to you, I've seen, you know what I'm saying, we've had that conversation, I don't see you doing shit different. You're complacent with that. I can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because now I see you're complacent with that, the shit that you're dealing with, versus you really, now I'm talking to you and I see that you really want to change that shit. But maybe you just didn't know how. Maybe you just didn't have.
You could have been the person to like just push them to teach them how. Or show
right,
them
and that's why I have a different kind of patience when I deal with people in a relationship, because I feel like there's something great in everybody. Everybody may not see the greatness in them, but if I see the greatness in you and I see that you could see it too, that's what's gonna make me attracted to you. But if I see that you're just always down on yourself, you don't see your greatness, what can I do about that? Because I can't make you see that you're great. I can only,
if it's in you, it's in you.
Let you know like what I see, and then you could either see it too, or I can't fuck with you.
So I got a question, right? So somebody talked about defending honor. I believe that was you, right? Yeah, that was you. Somebody defending your honor, right? What are your thoughts on the Will Smith slap because of defending Jada's quote unquote honor?
Well, I felt like he didn't have to go up there and assault Chris like that. I felt like Jada should have stopped him. She had plenty of time from her peripheral when she saw him get up and walk. She had plenty of time to stop him. But we don't know if she would try to, if she would have tried to, if he would have stopped, because he probably would have kept going and ignored her.
I can't wait till this gets to me.
But I feel like he shouldn't have had done that. That was absolutely unacceptable. It was disgusting. And I was actually in Florida it was my birthday weekend. It wasn't a Sunday, right?
The Grammy, Oscars.
Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday. It was actually my birthday weekend, and I was in Florida, and I was watching it happen, and to the point where I'm looking, and I'm like, he didn't just do that. He did not just put his hands on this man, and poor Chris just looked shocked,
baffled,
like,
right?
Baffled, like what the fuck just happened? But that shit was unacceptable. That's not cool.
So my whole thing is that, right, is this. What do you think is going on at home?
A lot.
Well, hold on. Before I get to that, what do you think about the slap and defending Jada's honor?
I mean,
Well, you think that was a true representation of?
I think she's very toxic, like for him, and I feel like because even the other camera shows, like she was laughing, like you know what I'm saying. It was like a joke to her, but I'm like, you know, I get it, but then it's like for her, she doesn't like the way she like. Even like what I see, like how their relationship, the way she always puts him down, like you know, she always makes him feel like he's wrong in everything that he does. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he put himself at a liability for her, and she would never, you know, really do the same because she's always like downing him in like the media. Like you know, I always see that. Like even from the past, like he even talked about it on the red table. Like there was a time like she talked to him crazy in front of everybody, and he was just like, "Yo, don't talk to me like that in front of people." Like you know, she always demasculated him. And I feel like him doing that just put himself in a deeper hole, you know, because she, not 10 out of 10, she ain't doing it good. I don't know.
And what about you,
I feel like the slap, like she said, like, you know, there's ways that you handle things. I feel like he should have defended her, definitely. Slap somebody in the face, that's a different story. I feel like as long as you're husband and wife with somebody, I feel like you should defend your wife.
Of course.
But you know, there's ways that you do it, but then on the other end, when you're having somebody defend you as a woman, no matter if you think he did it right or wrong, you need to stand by that person because they did it in your name.
Stand by him.
And that's the problem to me. I feel like, you know, he should have done whatever not necessarily whatever he felt, because he shouldn't have hit him, but like, it just seems so one-sided when it's like you do this to protect somebody because that's the only thing that he felt he could do to protect her. And then she doesn't even come back and support him. Yeah. That was the problem to me.
He loves her so much that he would do anything for her approval. He's madly in love.
But then it's like she's never...
Willow wrote a letter to Tupac. Why you write a letter to Tupac?
When I see that shit, I'm like, I know this little girl did not write no fucking letter to no Tupac.
You know, that's what she truly loves.
Your father...
Facts.
You have no respect for your father. Zero.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell.
She was like 6 or she was like really young.
Really young.
Well, what's really going on inside the house?
Exposed to her mother and Tupac's relationship at 6.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Red flag.
That's a red flag.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Natural. Go ahead, baby.
I'm just saying because I know you're about to switch it real quick. I just want to say, at the end of the day, like she said, it was shocking. Whatever. All right. Now, when she said as far as like Jada could have handled it better as a woman for her man, because first of all, to defend somebody's honor, they gotta be honorable. Do I think she's honorable? Do I think she acted honorable to him over all these years? No, I don't. So defending somebody's honor, they gotta be honorable, and I don't see that. That's number one. Number two, he definitely was laughing, like she said. Because trust me, I feel like I'm fucking fake ass detective over here because I would never be a detective, but I be on my shit in the crib, like nah. I be watching shit. So he was laughing. I thought this shit was bullshit because I felt like something that you said made me want to say that because it was like she definitely put the battery in his back. Yeah. I don't feel he just did that on his own because when you see him laughing and then you see her face, like my homegirl in my crib said when we were smoking, she be like. She tapped him like, yeah, word, so what you finna do about it? Like, pretty much. Because it was like a little 10 seconds that I'm sure she tapped him, gave him a look like, oh, that shit funny?
Yeah, you don't know who's that happy, who's that angry.
That's all I'm saying. Laughing. She was in the crowd laughing.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. He went from smiling to being totally upset. And I felt like...
her face.
Yeah, her face disturbed him.
Because he was weak.
That too, but the camera went off of them, and I definitely feel she said something to him to make him get up.
I generally don't think he was actually thinking it was funny. I think when you're in like a place like that, and the Oscars, like you know the camera's on you, I feel like he didn't genuinely think it was funny.
Yeah. I don't think that when he initially laughed, I don't think that when he initially laughed, he looked at it as I don't think he looked at it as malicious to her sickness.
Yeah.
First of all, bitch, I didn't even know you was sick. Like, I just thought you had a low cut. I just thought you had a low cut. So the first thing that popped in my mind is the joke came from the association of a low haircut. And I'm looking at it like, okay, if you cut your hair low,
first of all,
proud of it.
Jada rocked the best low cuts in the 90s. So most people didn't even know she had alopecia, was it? Is that alopecia?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was like, and then he's a fucking comedian.
And you see that?
He's a comedian. That's his job.
She love her niggas.
She exactly.
Did you guys see the interview?
I don't understand that. Like, that's a whole comedian. You got up and slapped a comedian over a joke. So that means every audience that sits at a comedy show can get up and smack the shit out of the fucking comedian. like you can't do that. I feel like like what you said, Jada
Can't
is
handle
really
the
not
heat.
honorable. She's not who we all thought she was. You know, growing
Right.
up watching the movies.
And I just
She's
feel like him screaming in the audience was enough. You could have did that
That
alone.
alone.
Yeah.
Because that made everybody quiet and everybody heard, and
Everybody
it was
was like,
embarrassing
yeah.
enough. But when you went up there and just did the whole smack and did a whole 360, first of all, I always kept saying Chris Rock would have had to jump on his back to fight him back anyway, because he walked away so quick.
You know how
He would have to
ghetto
run behind him and
Yeah.
make it look really hood, and that's what we don't want.
Yeah.
So I feel like he did maintain
Chris Rock
himself as a
did,
man,
yeah.
but what's going on in a household got to be a lot for her daughter to even
Yeah.
hear Tupac's name, to be
Facts.
writing a letter to him at 5, 6, 8, or 13.
That
It don't even matter. You got to be saying stuff
That's
around
enough,
her
yeah.
for her to know him. Because did she
Yeah.
know him? He wasn't around.
Mhm.
He
He
was born
died.
shorty.
Yeah.
So how you know about him? And I understand media and again, y'all are celebrities, so a lot is said out there and all of that. But again,
It shows you that something is, you know what I'm saying?
something had to. I feel like for you to associate that with your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something had to be said from your mother.
Especially when
and
she
that had to be
demeans Will.
years of
Yeah.
that going on of obviously Jada Pinkett
And I
just
know, I don't think
Jada's
chatting in the
mother.
crib, just
she
chatting
feel
in the
like
crib.
she's
Jada
settled
did.
in a sense.
Jada Pinkett's mother. That lady. People gotta watch her too, because when she's on that red table and it's her, Willow, and Jada, the way they talk, like the mother is really the root. The mother is the freaking
You
root.
never
even-
watched it. I'm gonna watch it.
Even when
that
you were
said
talking
that.
about
Yeah.
like they were talking about marriage, Will and Jada were getting married because she was pregnant, and she was pretty much like they say so nonchalantly and laughing, but she was like, yeah, because my mom made me marry Will and she was like, your mom can't make you. She said my mom made me go down the aisle. My mom. It's like it's a certain level of aggression that started off
There's
even
no
there. Where
respect
it's
to
like,
him.
there's no respect to him, and he was even there like.
Jada Pinkett's mother is an alpha female, and she raised Jada to be the same thing, and Jada's raising Willow to be the same thing. Because it was an episode where Will was on the table talk, and it was all four of them, and he was just basically talking about how he went out of his way to make Jada's birthday this extravagant thing. If y'all see how Jada Pinkett mother was looking, if you see how all three of them was looking at Will, like, you simp motherfucker, like nobody cares. It was disgusting and it was
Ultimate shit.
embarrassing. I'm like, this fucking lady and her mother and her daughter, y'all gotta go. Y'all in this fucking table gotta go. It was no, and that's the thing, I don't even watch it.
No whole table away.
I was just like, as women, and I feel like as black women,
Generations, like you see the
And what I know,
impact
I feel like I know what
generations.
you want to say, which is just demeaning, because it's like, you portray the image of a man doing great things is so beneath. And it's like, appreciate the shit.
Appreciate
It's so
it.
right.
Right.
Say thank you.
Yeah.
That's why I've always been the kind of woman, like, I don't have to like you, but if you give me a compliment, I'm going to just say thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was raised with manners. It's like, why you got to be so petty and extra about it? Like, and like you said, I could just imagine how disgusting they was looking at him.
They
Just
was like-
to make it seem like, oh, that wasn't shit.
yes,
small.
that's exactly how he was looking at him.
Make
Like,
him feel small all the
Okay.
time. I don't like that.
Even worse, going back to like the letter with
Sad.
Willow, it's like you put this man down for doing so much for you, but then it's like clearly you uplift Tupac so much
you got
that your
some
daughter
motherfuckers
Should've stayed with his
to
ex-wife.
uplift.
Yeah.
uplift
A
a whole
dead
nother.
rapper.
Mhm.
After your
That's because
father
they
done
probably know
bust
his
his
ass
ass.
loves him, but
Yeah.
that's not the point. We ain't gonna do that.
So that leads into my next question, right? Who is more toxic, men or women?
Sure.
It
Because
depends on who you ask.
Okay.
I'm asking y'all.
Okay, so
People.
I feel
Not-
like anybody that doesn't decide to do the shadow work within
Yeah.
themselves is
Can be
toxic.
toxic.
Because there's women that's like, oh, this is how I am. There's men that does the same thing. Anybody that says that statement to me, I think that statement alone is the biggest red flag in the world. Because that means you don't work on yourself. That means you don't want to get better. That means you're content with who you are. You're content with hurting people, and you're content with, moving forward in the manner that, like, you should never stay the same. You should always grow. So I think anybody that like says statements like that.
And I feel like we need to stop glorifying toxic relationships.
Yeah.
It's not
It's not
fucking
cute.
cute,
Gotta-
and it's not
Okay.
funny.
Mm-hmm.
People lose their lives. They lose
Yeah.
their livelihoods because of toxic relationship. It's not fucking funny and it's not cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like these celebrities play a big part in that shit because they normalize it. They talk about it in the music. I mean, then I'm being a hypocrite myself.
Shout out to
because
Future.
because I will sometimes repost a toxic post for laughs and gags, whatever. But I really and truly do not want a toxic relationship because
Yeah.
I've been in toxic relationships since I was 15. Up until you could say 5 years ago. And I feel like I'm toxic. And I'm gonna be honest, with myself. I'm fucking toxic because it's men, great value men that want me, and because I have toxic ways, that's hindering that. So it's like I have to work on myself, but I really wish as a human race we just stop glorifying toxic relationships. Because people die, people lose their homes, their cars, their kids. It's just not, in all actuality, it's not cool.
You need to glorify therapy.
Glorify therapy, yeah.
Like people, like I'm not a therapist. I'm your girlfriend.
And then black people need to stop saying.
Stop putting your traumas on me.
Black people need to stop saying go to church. No, there's nothing wrong with therapy. Church. No. There's nothing wrong with
Shout out my
church.
cousin in the morning.
There's nothing wrong with church, but church is not the fucking answer to everything. Half these pastors and people that preach are fucking lying and cheating on their wives. So it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. No, go to therapy. Yeah.
It's like in a relationship, I feel like sometimes you see a person, and you're saying that too. Like you see a person, and as women in us, we see potential, and it's like, especially if they're moving forward, it's like you just want to help them and you want to like make them feel the best, like the king that you see them as. But sometimes it's like their insecurities, like their traumas, their past relationships, it affects them so much, and you see such potential in them that you put your soul into trying to help them, and then it's like you're not a therapist. Like I feel like women need to understand we're empathetic, we're sympathetic, all of that, but we are not therapists. It is not our jobs to fix broken people.
Yeah.
They need to have the shadow work and do it themselves.
You got that right.
Well, yeah, that too. You know what I'm saying? But I think it all links in together as well.
Yeah, with
You
your
know what
help,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Because if you are a certain kind of energy, you're gonna encourage that. Energy.
Yeah, if you have
You're
your
gonna still
energy.
say, hey, look, I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I suggest, but you know what I'm saying? Definitely when you by yourself, think about it and make it make sense and put it all together. And you gotta love yourself through everything. I feel like even your imperfections, you gotta love, because when you love yourself, then you understand yourself, and then you know what you gotta change because you accept it. When you don't even love certain things about yourself, even when it's not perfect, obviously, because worldly shit ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? And you're not even able to acknowledge it to say, you know what? Like she said, all right, she recognizes certain things. That's how she gonna grow. But a person that don't even want to reflect on it is not gonna grow.
Yeah, like I feel like this is kind of personal, but I really feel like I can talk about it because it's this one guy in particular that I feel like
There's always one guy.
because of my toxic ways, he wants absolutely nothing to do with me. And I feel like, not even feel like, I know I missed out on something really, really, really good. So I'm just really working on me.
Well, you can talk to him. He's on one of these cameras. You can talk to him. Talk to him.
Am I dumb ass looking at him?
She like, I know. She like, which one?
Listen, talk to that
No,
camera.
I don't even know.
I'm looking at the camera.
He's in one of these. Talk to him and let him know.
But yeah, I made a mistake. He knows. He knows. And I just feel like being toxic can really, it can hinder growth and great opportunities with great people. So that's why I really want people to just look in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Fix yourself.
So,
Jackson was definitely
so hold on though. So that leads me to this next topic right now, right? Who do you think cheat more, men or women? It's never both.
Personally, I think men.
Well, it is both.
I think women
Right?
cheat too, but I definitely think
Who
men
cheat?
cheat.
Men?
I think men
They
cheat
have
more.
one fucking reason.
Women cheat with emotion,
Yeah.
and men just cheat just to cheat.
Just
Like,
because they can.
just because they can.
I mean,
Sometimes you gotta show your man, like,
A
your
nigga
DMs.
will have a heart attack if you pull a him on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when it's reverse, it's okay. Like, I'm supposed to accept that you out here just doing whatever, and everybody community whole. But when it's the other way around, it's like, oh, my chest hurt. You know, you a hoe.
Oh my God, yeah.
well, the last time I checked, blackdemographics.com, right? So women cheat at the 24% rate, men cheat at the 28% rate.
At a what?
24% rate,
Yeah, I was
Men
gonna
cheat
say
at
that.
28%.
It's pretty.
28.
right? So my whole thing is this: if men and women are cheating the same rate, right? Why is it so difficult for women to stay in a relationship?
Why has to be the woman? Why can't?
I feel like it's like with men and women, and I'm not saying this as statistics, but I feel like if a woman cheats, she would have one person that she continuously cheats with over and over and over.
Here we
Because
go.
We're emotional cheating.
I feel like men would have 4, 5, 6 different people just because they can.
And you know what the thing is with men? I feel like you know.
Tread lightly.
No, I'm not. No, it's some real shit. I
Yeah.
feel like with men, why some men cheat, it's like because it's like, why not have the cake if I could eat it too? You know what I'm saying? There's some women that give certain men a different thrill. A next bitch could probably give you a thrill like, damn, my wife don't even do this for me no more, but she just giving me that energy, and you like that.
Yeah.
Then that makes you like, damn, you're gonna go where you feel like you like, but you still gonna keep your whatever, because that's the main whatever case would be, but you're gonna have entities for different things. This person, she makes me feel like I make her nut, so I'm gonna keep fucking her. Your wife probably don't make you feel like that at all.
You know,
bitch, looking at you like, it's the truth though. There's some nigga, I realize a lot of niggas, like, I feel like, like, I'm not gonna say it's personal, but I remember this situation, like, you know, and the guy knew he wasn't really satisfying me, whatever. So, you know, I guess it made him feel away, but I never really, you know, made him feel like, you know, like, damn, but I know he felt that. He felt like, damn, I can't really please her the way I can, but she loves me for me, but I'ma still go out there and cheat because maybe the next bitch gonna make you feel like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. I was in a situation like that. I wasn't with you for anything else, but off the strength that I love you, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the sex, it wasn't about nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because there were other ways where I felt like my happiness was filled. But it was just the sense that you felt comfortable enough to go out there and get whatever, because you probably felt like you didn't get that emotion from me that I couldn't give you because you didn't give me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really give that to me. But you gave me other things, but I probably, you know, and it's not nothing to do with me. It's just the you thing and your ego. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stroke the ego the way that you wanted to in all those type of areas, so you go look for that somewhere else, which I feel like men just open their options. It's not like, you know, they will say, it's not that they don't love you, it's just that they just can't, you know what I'm saying?
Men cheat because they can.
They can.
Like, that's it.
A man could hit it and quit it, and then the next day,
You would never-
whatever.
I don't think men cheat because they can,
Alright.
right? I think men cheat because they're missing something at home, and I'm gonna tell you.
Exactly, that's
hold
cheating
on.
because you're missing
Hold
something.
on.
I cheat with 7 different bitches
I don't
because
agree with
y'all
that.
always missing something
Yeah.
from one.
No.
And
And
that's why I said get a pack. You
Go
gotta
on.
take your time and find a woman that's a package versus.
I feel like I completely disagree. You're never gonna find the full package ever. Like, you can you're always gonna have to compromise something in your relationship personally. Like, it's never gonna be perfect. So if you sit there having an 80% woman and you're like, yeah, but that 20%, damn, I really need that, and you go looking for 20%, that's idiotic to me. That's crazy, because
That's
you're
what I
gonna
mean.
have this. You're always gonna not have every single thing. And as a woman, sometimes, like, they always say men cheat because their woman doesn't do this and they can find this person that does that or that. As women, like, we need to understand, we can get different things too. Men, we can have a man that can fix our car that our boyfriend doesn't do. We could have a man that can take us to a really stimulating date if we wanted to. A man that can buy us food if we wanted to. We have options too. We have needs too that we compromise for our men.
Okay.
So you're not gonna sexually
and this,
compromise.
but hold on, but you see that though, right? You just said you got a man that can fix your car.
Well, that doesn't mean
You
we
got a
fucking
man-
them.
hold up.
We
You got a
choose-
man that
we
can take
choose
you out
to
to
go
dinner, right?
We choose to still go to Mavis
And you got a man
and
that
pay
can-
for it, even though we know someone that can do it for free.
Men
Because
don't have
we're-
that. Men
because-
don't have those options. I can't call a girl to be like, hey, you know what?
Yeah, but you can call a girl that can give head right, or you can call a girl that her pussy's this, but you can call a girl for sexual different reasons. But as soon as we call a girl,
And
a
a girl,
guy,
every time you
to
gotta
help
have
us
the
move
plate
our
ready.
furniture or to pay our car, or then it's like demeaning
But
to you.
women have more access to men than men have access to women.
That's not true.
That is
It's
totally
social
true.
media.
That is
But
totally
most
true.
women don't
If
be
you look
wanting
at
all
a
that.
man's
Y'all
DM,
just be wanting all the
if you look at a man's DM versus a female's DM, she will have a lot more interaction, engagement
because
with
it's a
men.
lot more thirsty ass.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that
I feel like
because women, like she said, will be like they said. A woman will, if a woman cheats, she'll probably cheat with that one person for a while. Versus a man is just all over the.
Oh, I like how she
place.
gives head. Oh, her ass is fatter than her ass, so I'm gonna fuck her because of the. Like, y'all
And this
people
way,
are more
this way
like
cooks for me.
Yeah.
I heard niggas talk.
But we're sitting there like
Bucket list.
staying with you, and it's like, okay, we gotta pay for our own like car because you don't know how to fix my car. Oh, now I gotta get movers to move my furniture because you don't want to help me. Like, there's men that I could get
what kind
to.
of men are you dealing with?
Bottom line, I just
There's
Why-
not
why
a
would the
man.
men that
Look,
you talking to-
what I'm saying is that
Don't
there's not
wanna-
a man that will do the entire package. Sometimes men, it's like you're gonna get that a dominant man that's like very good with handy, but isn't necessarily good with like emotions. we can do that too, is what I'm saying, and we don't. It's like men, I feel like, would have that one small thing that your girl doesn't have and look for it in another thing. But we as women would have things that we would struggle with because we care about our partner.
Right, and we'll sacrifice.
And we'll sacrifice not having it.
Yeah, I know.
And men would just be like, oh well, you know.
But that's
it
because
was
I feel
there.
men are more dependent. They feel like they gotta get all those things from somebody else instead of maybe being independent and doing it for themselves. Where a woman to do all those things for themselves and deal with a man that could do a couple of those things.
Yeah,
No, there's nobody that's gonna be the complete package. But there's people out there that will meet majority of what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So when you can be fucking grateful for that shit instead of being like, oh, I still need that.
Or
And
her
I
ass is
still- and I
fat.
gotta have that. You know what I'm saying?
Like-
Instead of always looking at what you're lacking, just be grateful for what you got.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of men, like I said, I feel a lot of men cheat just pretty much off the convenience of feeling like
And it's
different females for different things.
and don't
And
cry
I've
when
heard
you
plenty
cheat.
of dudes say that, and it kind of pans out to look true because it's like, okay, why are you fucking? Oh, I'm fucking with a shorty got a car, but this other shorty got a bomb ass pussy. The other bitch don't, but she'll let me use her car whenever. But the other bitch that got bomb ass pussy don't even have a car. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So she can't even pull up on me and catch me cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas be wildin' out here. Shit funny. But I do feel like dudes do that more. For those reasons where a woman would do it more because she's lacking something, she tried to communicate it and you wasn't listening because you was fucking another bitch.
And
Instead
I
of
feel like
focusing on the
I feel
one
like
that
men
you got
settle. Men do
and make
settle.
her happy.
They sometimes they miss out on the girl that they really want when they doing their shit, and they end up settling. And that's why when you not really happy with the bitch, that's not the bitch that you really want. You end up settling. Then you cheat more because that's not who you really want. Like you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I feel a lot of niggas settle because you done ran through your options and you fucked up with everybody. And there's a lot of women that's not taking that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the bitch that you really wanted got out go ahead. So now it's like, damn. Shit is up in the air, okay? So now it's like you missed out on a really great woman because you was doing you, and then now you end up settling, and now because you settled, you're still not happy because honestly, if you really about that person, you wouldn't cheat. Why are you even thinking about cheating? What's the point of getting married if you're gonna cheat? Like it doesn't make sense. If you know that, oh, this one being with this woman, but yeah, we're gonna get married, but I'm still gonna cheat. Why are you marrying her?
Because it's the convenience
That's
of
what I'm saying.
feeling
It's
like,
convenient.
like
You're
they
settling.
can do that.
Convenience.
Oh, I can marry her and do whatever
Exactly.
the fuck I want to
You're
get away with
settling.
it. You know what I'm saying?
You're
And then I might
settling.
cheat to see if I find
Thank
another
you.
bitch that'll deal
I
with
know
it.
a couple of married men that marry the women that they're with because of their jobs and how they held them down in certain situations.
That's not who you really want.
Exactly, and then they're out cheating like they nobody knows
Yeah.
their business.
It's not really what you want. It's just like you just creating another cycle.
And they old too. So it's like these are big grown ass men that's sitting down telling me like, cause I'm like, yo, why you have a wife? Why do you want to do this and that and the third? You know, things are different now. You know, she's much older. She can't do this, or she doesn't want to, and they out there slinging dick.
So
And I always ask them, why? Like, I understand divorce is a lot, but why not get a divorce so you can live in peace and do what the fuck you want to do in
Because
peace?
I feel like it's a business. Like by the time you're married, you have so many things together that is so. I mean, I know that it's stressful in a relationship, but it's like you have to balance out your stress. It's like which was more stressful, getting your phone bill separated? You guys got to share a car, y'all share a house, y'all got to cut everything
But that
in
is
half.
so,
Like it's so.
selfish.
Yeah.
I understand that, but that is so incredibly selfish because none of us sitting here wants to be married to a dude because it's convenient for them.
Yeah.
And to know that we're at home getting cheated on, like it ain't nobody fucking business. But on his end, he's like, you know, she held me down.
Yeah.
And it will be
That's
such a
settling.
hassle if we get a divorce.
Ooh.
So you know what? I'm just gonna keep cheating and keeping it on the low and just keep it from her. Ain't nobody got
You're
time for that.
settling. Don't settle.
Ain't nobody fucking.
I don't believe
settling.
in
Not in this day
settling.
and age.
So
Not
so
doing
in
what
this
you want.
in this current day and age right now, right? When we talk about dating, right? You're 27. How old are you?
25.
25.
28.
28. Oh,
Grown enough. My daughter's 22.
oh, your daughter's 22. Okay, so I'll look dating after 25,
No,
right?
I'm playing. I'm 37. I ain't scared of my
I'm like,
age.
you
I'm
would look
37.
like you're 29.
Can I have what you're
28.
taking?
All right. So dating after 25, right? What does that look like?
It's
And
funny.
how you dating after 25? And are we dating with the purpose to say, you know what, the next person that I talk to, I'm gonna marry him or her?
That's definitely.
I actually See, I noticed I actually been telling myself that, like, whoever I seriously date, I really would love him to be my husband because I've been dating since I was 15. And in the West Indies, there's something called force ripe, and that was me. When I was 15, I lost my virginity, and I was dating. I was doing a lot of shit I shouldn't have been doing at 15 up until 25. No, when I had my daughter at 22. Damn, it was just a lot. So, damn, what the fuck?
So
I
now,
lost,
so now, are we dating with purpose?
Yes, I am dating with purpose. Yes, I am dating with purpose because I have a daughter, and thank God her dad is very active in her life. I want a man to accept my daughter, like love her so much as if, you know, she's his own. So that's one thing I can say I'm looking for. Yeah, like you gotta be like, you gotta love my daughter, you gotta love my life, you gotta, you know, take your time with me. So I'm dating with purpose.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me build with you real quick. So you know, when a man dates a woman with kids, right? It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that men think about that I don't think women think about, right? So I'm dating you with kids, and I get you pregnant. Can I still discipline my kid the same way I discipline your child?
To an extent.
Why? See, and that's the thing, right?
But you can't put your hands on my daughter.
But and now here we go down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Right? So now I gotta see with you, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's all make it girls. Let's all make it girls. I got my daughter with you, you got your daughter from previous relationship. Nobody should be exempt from disciplinary actions because I made a child with you. So now we're a family. So when you say that I can't discipline your daughter the same, are you, okay, I'll put it to you like this. If I say I want to spank my daughter with a belt, are you going to tell me no?
That you don't want to spank
No.
her?
Are you going to tell me I can't do that?
Spank my child that I
No,
have?
the child that you have with me.
The child that we have.
You can't tell me no.
I can't tell you no.
Exactly.
You're her dad. You're her.
But could I spank your daughter the same way I spank mine?
No.
Well, you see where that
See,
can
I
be.
have
Well, you see where now I want you to picture something, right? When I said I'm bringing you in my family, I'm bringing your daughter in. So that means whatever. Nobody should be have leverage over anybody. Everybody should be treated the same, right? So you got to think about that, right? When you approach a man, or when a man approach you, when he says like, "Hey, I'm willing to take this down the path, and we're gonna go with our vows," there's certain liberties you're gonna have to let go, and that's gonna be one of them. Because it's like, oh, you know what? If you can't marry me, then you're better
Well, that's
off.
when we have a big family discussion, including her.
We just discussed it.
No, but that discussion needs to be included with her dad.
But I feel like once you guys are starting into the family segment, not saying that didn't happen, but I feel like if you guys are married, hypothetically at this point, I feel like certain conversations, like it wouldn't make the children feel separate to each other when it's like, okay, we're sisters, but then this person that I call my father treats me differently, even though he still treats me. Even though he's like my real or second dad.
Because you could imagine, it only takes one bad scenario. I'm coming trying to get my laptop to go DJ for a gig, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go pee real quick. And your daughter is in the bathroom. And she goes, oh my God, Mr. Marcus came in the bathroom and he looked at me funny. You know what I'm saying? Now that sends off an alarm. She goes, tells her father, yo, Mr. Marcus came in the bathroom and I ain't like the way he looked at me. But I've been taking care of your mother, and I've been taking care of you and my daughter in the house. You know what I mean? There's certain liberties that you're gonna have to let go of, because it won't be fair for any man to come into a relationship to take on another kid to feel like he gotta walk on eggshells.
Well, that's when the mother needs to know how to discipline her child. I feel like it's really an individual thing in a sense. I have a daughter, and you come into my life when we have a child, and you're disciplining our daughter, and you also feel like you should discipline my child. I feel like my daughter will be on her P's and Q's to know not to do certain things.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how kids are?
I have a child, and I've been around kids my entire life. But I feel like me as a mother, I would make sure I'm raising my daughter and disciplining her in the right way, where she knows how to act around her stepdad, knows to respect him, knows to, his boundaries. yeah, I feel like it's how you bring up your kids and certain things. It's a lot of things falls into that. Like it's really a rabbit hole.
What about you?
I gotta have brothers and sisters. We all gotta be. So
No. I'm talking about. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have kids.
Okay. What about you?
We all gotta be.
kids.
No, you don't have kids either.
Man, I just got one. What was the exact?
So now you're in a relation. When you have another child, can your spouse discipline your child the same way the child that y'all brought into the relationship together?
Well, I do feel like it really depends on the situation. Because even when you have the same two parents, my parents had me 20 years after they had my sister. You know what I'm saying? My sisters are older than me, like 18 years ago. Let's say 18 years. And then my sister closest to me is 10 years apart. So as parents, I would think they would have evolved. Now all of our parents are the same. So as far as like, you know what I'm saying, a kid having your kid and then having another kid, like I said, I have my daughter's 22. If I had another kid right now, you know what I'm saying? Just off of straight maturity, I'm definitely raising my kid different.
Yeah.
Because I have my daughter at 15. Feel me?
Different.
So I'm definitely not about to raise her the same way just to prove to my kid that I have favoritism.
Yeah, you had
I love you the same way, but that's one of the things I have with my sisters. Like my parents might have hit them when they was younger, but when I came, I never got a beating. I never got my ass whooped with a belt. Never. I've never gotten whooped. Ever.
Also, your parents don't hit
You the last kid?
Yes.
That's why.
Okay, that's why.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
Yeah.
my sisters had a whole nother scenario about my parents. But you gotta remember,
Yeah.
they had you in their 20s. They had me when they was 40, B.
Yeah.
They doing the same
They
thing.
tired, yeah.
If they doing the same thing at 40, they was doing it at 20. That's not even growth because even me, I'm gonna be real. My daughter's 22, and before I had my daughter, I'm not whooping my kid's ass because I didn't get my ass whooped. I'm like, I'm not hitting my kids
Yeah.
until she was Leo, and I was like, I'm fucking shit.
Yo,
Okay, fucking her up. Okay, fuck all that. That shit went out the window so quick. I forgot I said it, and I remember like, did I say I was gonna hit my kid? But this nigga different. So anyway, you know what I'm saying? So. My thing is, but see, again, I was still young though. I didn't have my baby father around, none of that shit. Like, he corny. So my thing is now, if I had a kid, first of all, I plan on if I wouldn't have a kid now, but if I did hypothetically, like, first of all, I always planned, that's why I only have one, and then with my second kid, I'm gonna be doing everything different. The parents gonna be there. I'm gonna make sure, cause my daughter didn't deserve her parent to be there, but I made it whatever. You know, at that age, I was young. You feel me? But if I had a kid now, I'm raising them different. I probably wouldn't hit my kid because I see the shit ain't did shit. She 22 and she's still doing my fucking nerves, and I still want to whoop her ass. You know what I'm talking about? But if I had another kid now, I would raise my kid a little differently because I know better.
Yeah.
I know more, and I'm a little bit more like intellectual with things, and you know what I'm saying, with my movement. So I don't know how to answer that because it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It depends on the age difference, how far apart. Versus, all right, if I had a kid that's 3. And then 3 to 4 years later, I give it somebody and have another kid. Now they only 4 or 5 years apart. Honestly, you might be in that same mentality of how you're raising your kid at that point versus so many years apart. You know what I'm saying? So that's my answer. I couldn't really.
So the current state right now, 2022, how you think how you think social media has aided or made the dating scenario worse? Social media.
Social media made people feel like an option.
Yeah.
It made people feel like I can get another you in a week, in a day, in a whatever.
Well, women do outnumber men 7 to 1 on the planet.
Yo, why y'all always say that like that means something?
I mean,
crackheads. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they might be a lesbian. So who knows?
I was about to say
like,
that.
all the other
all
women
day
don't
women.
even qualify for the rest of y'all sometimes. Like, everybody's not even everybody's type. But with that being said, I feel like phones fuck that shit up. Fuck social media, just phones in general. But something one of y'all said earlier made so much sense. Like, yeah, before phones, you was able to miss that person and actually have those conversations where sometimes the OD of talking all fucking day does take away from having a real conversation later. Cause what are you fucking talking about now? Y'all talked about everything while it was happening versus being able to fucking talk about it later and go and talk about your day as a whole. Like, oh, this happened, da da da. Because then it starts becoming, oh, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? And that's walking on eggshells. Like, Nobody tells a person every fucking thing. Yo, after I drink that Pepsi, I burp.
I hate her.
Then I took a shit 15 minutes later. Like, bitch, I forgot some shit.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? So I just feel like it's some things are so tedious.
Yeah.
And then you got so many people looking at what they think things are supposed to be based off of other fucking people.
Yeah.
And that's not even real life because that's not your life.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what some of these people took to get there or what they're doing to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, you looking at this bitch with mad Birkin bags, but she sucks a nigga's dick on fucking
She probably
picking every other week. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, you can't sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I think it's a lot of psychological shit that go on with that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people looking at social media and seeing certain relationships. And like I said, a picture is 1,000 words, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then what have we seen? You gotta pay attention to what you know, what you actually know. What have we seen? Oh, this person had a great relationship with social media and he shot her.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because I think I was looking at a couple of stories like that, and I'm like, yo, people get so caught up in what they see, and that's just what's being portrayed to you. You're not seeing the full spectrum of that image.
It makes people not appreciative of what they have because they look on social media at couple goals or relationship goals, and they think that that person's relationship is so perfect because they put that small segment of what's good in their life on social media. So people see that as goals, and then it's like they don't appreciate what
and
they
they
have.
a lot of people try to imitate things.
Yeah.
They try to imitate what they see and think it's gonna bring the same happiness or some sort of happiness that you imagine those people to have. But you don't even know them, you ain't never spoke to them, you ain't
they
know
don't
they're
even
really
have
happy.
that. Yeah.
You feel me? They just took a picture and somebody said smile and they did.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I feel like social media does cause a lot because people aren't really ready for everything that comes with mentally. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, like you said, you go in a woman's DM and a woman might have 10 times more messages than a man would in his DM, but that don't mean that, okay, let's minimize it. A woman could have 100 niggas in her DM and she's not even entertaining
like
now.
I usually do.
And then it could be a man that got 5 bitches in his DM and he's entertaining every single one of them bitches. So it's not about the numbers, you feel me? It's about how a person's movement is. Because I do got a lot of people in my DM. I do not entertain them though.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can't go by that alone and say, yo, you got that. So that means you're doing the most. Like, that don't mean the person doing the most. That means the people trying to hit them up is doing the fucking most.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of men like somebody said, it's very transparent. Like, men feel it's so much easier. Like, yo, this bitch, all right, let me hit her up. Oh, let me hit her up. Now, let me see out of the 15 bitches I have, one of them got me a dot. Somebody gonna hit me back and be ready for the pop off. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bored tonight. You know what I'm saying? But you still complaining about all the women that you dealt with, and you still looking for that same type of bitch. And that's why I said sometimes people are looking. You know what I'm saying? They get that person, but they still are accustomed to what they're used to. So it's like, you want a bad bitch, and you say you like her because she rare, because I think I said so much transient. You like a female because she rare, you like her because she different, you get with her, but you really want her to be the same because you're not really embracing that difference.
Yeah.
You actually trying to find ways to have her move or find similarities the way other bitches that you like the way they move.
Bending her
you know
to
what I'm
your
saying?
will.
So it's like, you don't really like that I'm rare. You just like how I look.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Mhm.
don't
You're trying
believe
to
love at
change
first
me.
sight is lust at first sight.
Yeah.
Like, you like how I look, and that's it. Now everything else you're trying to create.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So what about you? You think social media made everything worse with dating?
Yeah. I think it made it. Yeah, everything is fake. Nothing is what it seems. Everything is fake. That's why I'm very strategic as to who I choose to entertain in my DMs. Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't entertain them, because I do. So, but I'm strategic about it. I'm like, okay, let me see if this one is worth a conversation.
Mhm.
This one, no. That one, he got links. I might talk to this one. That's how I do it. That's how
He got
honestly,
links.
What?
So
And then I don't wanna hear
what are the links? What are these links?
Just, close to certain people, certain circles, certain events, stuff like that. And I know a lot of people say, you're an opportunist, but aren't we fucking all?
Everybody's
Don't
an
you want to
opportunist.
talk to somebody that's going to get you from A to fucking B? Don't you want to talk to somebody that's going to help you elevate? So just in case somebody out there saying, oh, she's an opportunist. Oh, you damn fucking right. Yeah.
Okay, so
But as for like dating and stuff, social media has dampened the whole dating pool. But they say the dating pool has
Yeah.
piss in it.
Yeah, and I think, and
And
yeah, to
fentanyl.
answer that question straight up, I feel like it's affected people's perception of what dating really is.
Mhm.
I feel like people have false perceptions of, you know, how easy or how difficult it's going to be to be in a relationship. And I just feel like social media definitely caused a lot more insecurities, a lot more people just being insecure, where if there wasn't social media, they wouldn't be as insecure. Because, like, for instance, a person could be looking at somebody on their timeline, you know, and if you're in a relationship with somebody and that person, you, I guess, find out that, oh, my shorty looking at this nigga page and this nigga page, you know what I'm saying, or this dude page, or you find out whatever. It's like now you feel a full sense of, oh, now you in your head, like, oh, I think she like him, oh, all right, now you starting to compare yourself or certain things. And I feel like even with, you know, just the standard of people, you know, loving themselves, I feel is fucked that up, even in a relationship, because now people are going into a relationship thinking other people are looking for certain things that they think they gotta be instead of just being themselves. So it's like now you looking at it like, damn, you know, having just a full sense of insecurity for no reason, like, oh, I don't have a fat ass as much as this person, so he might not really like me as much. So now you're looking to be validated in different ways to make sure this person's really interested in you. When just being around them and taking time with them, you're gonna see that. Because if a person, you know what I'm saying, is gonna make time for you, then you'll know they want to be around you, period. You don't have to drag it with a bunch of texts and all that, because I feel like texting also gets, like, you know what I'm saying, transparent, like caught up in that too, because people feel like that's really making time for somebody. It's like, you go pick up your phone and talk to, I'm gonna be real, 10 different bitches. I know a dude right now that's doing that. Like, he tells me when I chill with him, like, do business with him, he's telling me, like, yo, I literally, all these bitches think I'm their man, and I'm like, why do you even make that time to do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But they really believe, because he's really not around in them all the time, and they obviously, their standards are not having a person that's being around them more constantly. Like, he's not even in the same state as some of them, but he'd still pick up the phone, say certain stuff, I love yous and all of that, and I'm just like, damn, you just did that 5 times in a row. This is how you gotta do just to keep up the betrayal, because guess what? Guess what he tells me though? They're all doing this, they buy him this, they do this, they do that, you know what I'm saying? So he's obviously dealing with certain types of women.
Who is this man that got time for 10 different
I'm not dry snitch, I'm not saying the man's name. But how old is he? I mean, I think he's definitely in his 30s, for sure. He's definitely, but that's what I'm saying. But his thing, when I say to him, like, why are you playing with their heart? Because I feel like you're telling them you love them, and I feel like I know women because I'm a woman. You're saying it to keep them strung along. They saying it because they really feel that way. And I'm like, yo, you cannot keep doing that, bro. And he's like, well, how do I know they're not doing that with other niggas? I'm like, bro, you can tell if a woman's into just you, or she's kind of like shaking you and brushing you off and moving certain ways. But, I mean, out of 8, let's just say, hypothetically, out of the 10 women you saying telling this to, trust me, a few of them is believing what you're saying, and you're dragging their heart along, and I think it's wrong as fuck. That's where I started saying, stop dealing with women that you aren't really into what they're into. These women that I hear you calling them, yo, I'm with that, and telling them that you love them, and then you telling them and they saying it back to you, you know what I'm saying? You're giving them a certain portrayal of that, you know, giving them a false sense of hope or something that you can't fuck with all of them. They're not even in the same, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. And his thing is always, I feel like it's a cop out, because it's like always like, oh, well, how do I know they not talking to other dudes? And I'm just like, bro, you're right, but that's not your concern to use that as a cop out to move that way. Because you're just using that as a justification to move that way. And as long as you keep saying that, you're gonna keep moving that way and break mad hearts. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I feel like a lot of men just use that as a scapegoat to say, oh, well, I don't know if she's being a thought. But all you need to worry about is who you're being. And stop thinking if you're being a thought that you're going to attract something different. Are you bugging? You know what I'm saying?
So I got a question, right? This is kind of off topic. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Because you ladies have a lot of input, right? Are we aware about the Nipsey Hussle and Lauren Linden whack 100 scenario?
Yeah.
Kind of maybe you showed it, right? Now, for
Recap.
those who don't know, right? Nipsey Hussle paid a man to have sex with Laura London. In the midst of the threesome, the dude he paid came in her mouth, and he sucked it out of Laura London's mouth. All right, God rest the dead.
Allegedly. These are allegations.
Allegedly, according to WAC 100, right? Allegedly, according to WAC 100. Now,
Why whack out all the tea?
Because he's whack.
He's
He's
whack.
so now, how do you does that make Nipsey Hussle gay?
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't think that makes him gay. I thought you were gonna say something.
He sucked.
To come
Out of Lauren's mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just fucking nasty, though.
I just feel like we were talking about relationships.
Other man's cum.
So does that make him?
But
Does that make him
we were
gay?
talking
My thing is, the man is dead. Why are we even talking about this?
Yeah,
Like,
That's what they were saying.
yeah, like
He's
why do
not
you
allowed
keep?
to defend
Why do you
himself.
keep like?
It's pretty much
Well,
redundant.
Yeah.
listen.
It's
Well,
somebody that
the
died
reason.
a high honor.
The reason why it's news right now because WAC 100 said he's got the tape, and WAC 100 is saying he's been basically protecting Nipsey's Hussle career.
It's not protected.
Hold on.
That's blackmail.
He said, yeah, it is blackmail and it's extortion. Now, my whole thing is that knowing that, could a man outside, change that. Could a man come to you and be like, disclose his past sexual relations habits and be like, yeah, I did that. What would you say about a man who told you he did that right now, current day?
You can get the fuck out my face.
All right, why is that?
Yeah, I'm not smoking
Because
this shit no more.
because that's fucking disgusting. As a man,
So that's why I
you're not
asked you.
supposed to do that.
Okay, so that's why I asked you, does that make him gay? Because now
Yes.
we talking about, you just said, oh, well, why is he not here while we're talking about it? But a man couldn't come to you and tell you he did that.
I'm always gonna be devil's advocate because
Okay.
I'm always because I try to see both sides of
Uh-huh.
everything, right? Because I know people.
Look at your face. Y'all can't even.
I'm still debating, is that gay or is it just fucking nasty and I'm
It's
just not
both.
fucking
It's
with you?
I personally, I personally feel like when you're dating, you find somebody for you, right? So what other
My
people do
homegirl
in their
Linda said he's
relationships-
lying.
I feel like, especially with me, I have a lot of people that are my friends that are polyamorous or polygamous or whichever one. So I have heard a lot of stories about a lot of different things with people that are in poly relationships.
Mhm.
I'm a monogamous. I like being in mono relationships, but it's another lifestyle to be interested in watching your girlfriend do certain things. That's another lifestyle that I feel like it's not fair as people in monogamous relationships to have opinions on. It's like being a straight woman and have my opinions on what gay people do. It's like that's not. You shouldn't have opinions on other lifestyles. It's no one's business except for that.
I
Like
think you
feel
can
like-
have an honest opinion
I
about
feel
it.
like-
I feel you can have an
I don't
honest
think you
discussion
should
about it
because
without, you know what I mean, without any hurting anybody's
with
feelings.
poly people, I feel like they do a lot of open things that a lot of people in a monogamous relationship would
No, they're swingers.
not.
Yeah.
But then it's also like now people don't feel comfortable expressing who they are because it's dominated by these perceptions or these views. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do that. I'd rather not. But I don't judge people if they want to do it.
It's not a
they have fun.
judge.
It's not a judge.
We're not judging. We're
Yeah,
trying
I
to.
see fit.
Yeah.
But imagine people.
Because you gotta understand something,
So
right?
he
Hold
just
on.
wanna
Come
know
on.
your opinion. So
Come on,
basically,
come
if
on.
a nigga did that, you
That's what I'm-
wouldn't
yeah,
have a
thank
problem
you.
with it. You'll be
I
like,
wouldn't
oh,
have a problem with
okay.
that. That was,
So that's what
even if you want to do it again in the future, I'm just like
With you?
cool, not with me.
Why not with
but-
you?
Cause
See, that's what I'm talking about, right? Because
That's not what I actually like. If you did that with another girl, okay, great, have fun. But if you do that with another girl again, if you said this is something I like,
no,
I'll
he
bring
said
it
he
to the
wants to
table.
do it with
If
you.
you want to do it with me, then hell no. I don't even like my niggas coming in my mouth respectfully, much less another. That's just weird. For me, I just don't like it. But I don't care if he did. I don't think it even like hurts the dead by bringing this up. I just think it's just pointless. And it's like if you don't understand it, then don't.
I
Don't
feel
talk
like
about
they're just trying to destroy his image.
Yeah,
tarnish his
always
image.
like.
Always. And it's always a melanated man's image.
And it's
They try
always
to
your
destroy
own.
it.
and
Yeah, always your own.
he's
Because
really right.
when these other
That is crazy.
shades do it, that's not melanin, it's idolized different.
Yeah,
It's
it
looked
is.
at different. And I only recognized that recently, only recognized recently, but I recognized something else recently that ties into that, which is even in the main screen. Like, melanated people wasn't nude as much as white people was in the movies in the 70s and 80s at all. Because we're always, everything they do is looked at like, you know, certain kind of way different than when we do it. Like when we do it, it's ratchet. When they do it, it's like it's
fashion.
So
it's
if a white person
it's
did
upper
that, it's
echelon
ratchet.
shit.
I think that's ratchet.
And-
A white person does it.
right. It's upper echelon shit. So it's like, me personally, I just think that's fucking disgusting and it's pointless and it's weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about what
You don't think that happened?
Me neither.
He's saying he got the tape.
I don't believe it
I feel
happened
like
at
he's
all.
black.
I don't believe it
He's
happened.
saying he got the
Because
tape?
somebody-
I'm
Yeah,
like the biggest
but
fan.
then, you know, when I looked it up earlier, it was heard that it's just an audio. So I'm definitely
Yeah,
not trusting no data.
audio.
First of all, who has sex audio? Talking about, I got
No,
sex.
no.
It was
I
a
don't got sex, I got
transaction
sex
of, like,
audio. You
yeah.
hear that shit?
I think
And
it-
people just be talking
I think it
about
was
their
a
ass.
transaction of like, hey, I want this to be like it was like
The discussion.
the discussion
of
of
yeah.
I don't think it was like them
Yeah.
having sex on audio. I think it was like, hey, I
At the
want
end
you
of
to
the
do
day,
this to my
shut the
girlfriend
fuck
or something
up.
like
I
that.
really don't.
It was like
I
he was
don't
begging
see
for
that.
it.
I don't believe that. I
He
refuse.
always has something to say to degrade
Yeah.
people. Like, leave people alone and like let the woman's already mourning. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And the fact that she's not
Come
saying
on.
anything.
It should
Yeah,
be
like,
less about like the
Now, I
Nipsey
ain't gonna
situation.
lie, I
trying to-
like her, and I don't advocate for her at all because there's other things that you know about her that's come out about how she's dealing with Nipsey's thing, and you know just like the conspiracy side. Of it.
Mhm.
They gonna say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not gonna say too much, but at the end of the day, I don't bang with her too much as far as like just her personally and her demeanor and the way she's handling after his death. Like, you know, just trying to get the money part of it. It's just all about the money for her. I personally feel like it's all about, you know, being in the front line of Puma because he was and getting his endorsements and trying to, you know, just get that inheritance of him when you wasn't his wife. So everything
You know
really
what that
shouldn't.
reminds me of?
It just needs to all go out the window. You wasn't his wife, and that's just the bottom line.
Did
And
they have
there's a
kids
reason
together?
why you wasn't
Yeah,
his
they
wife.
have
Because
kids
if he
together.
wanted to leave
Yeah.
everything to you, he would have either made you his wife or put you in his fucking will. You know what
Did
I'm
he have a
saying?
will?
She wasn't in his will.
I doubt she was in his fucking will.
Did he
Shit.
have?
I mean,
a
I mean,
sometimes
legally-
33. Like
We don't
Legally-
know.
You have
No,
to
of
go
course
after-
you. I mean, honestly, no. Normally, you
That
probably
kinda
wouldn't. Because
reminds
motherfuckers like,
me-
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I'ma
gonna die at
33.
No,
He wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Of course not. So that's what I'm saying. But he didn't marry her neither. But that's neither here nor there. I just feel like, does that make him gay? It's really
I
that
just feel
was
like
a
it's-
questionable question.
it should be
Mhm.
less a conversation on if he's gay and like just whack is just annoying. Like why? It's just like why do that? Like why try to
Stir up
degrade somebody,
controversy.
especially somebody that in the black community? Like we barely have heroes, right?
Exactly.
We barely have.
They
When we
kill our
have
heroes.
stand-up people, it's like you always try to tear them down. Like I feel like white people always try to tear us down, but then it's like when we're in the community and you have a platform, why they're already doing it to us? So why do we do it to ourselves?
Why you don't speak on the good things? You do?
Yeah.
Why you have to always bring up?
Bring up the negative.
That's the
yeah.
problem with people.
Because you just know when people want money
Yeah,
and they just
people
need
trying to
do
get clout
something
their
to
name.
get
The
that
man was an
name going.
inspiration to people.
To
What the
so
hell are
many
you?
people.
You are a menace to society every time. There's nothing positive that you can say you really brought. What have you brought? Change your direction. People are looking to you. How do you expect kids like to look to you? Kids can't look to you because all you do is bring negativity. And it's sad because you are such a prominent person in the music industry right now. What have you done for your community? Respectfully, to be speaking on people who done stuff for their community.
And who's
That's
dead.
his business. And who's dead. Even if
And
there is
who's
a case,
dead,
he's
yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
And what positive effect have you ever had on your community? This is not a positive effect on your community. You're just adding to the problems.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's downright wrong that he's even
Like-
at all talking about somebody that's not.
And
gay.
he
That's
has
just about
kids.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
even if
Bottom
he is
line,
gay, it's
he
like-
shouldn't even be talking about him
He's a
since he's
little
passed
boy.
away.
Mhm.
Period. Any of that you should address while he was alive, but you
Yeah, you're
not.
trying to make yourself relevant, trying to get
Yeah.
money, trying to get blocks to hit you. Oh, I paid this for the tape. You know what I'm saying? Stupid stuff. You
But
want
I
money.
feel like
So-
it's the type of person that he is because if we look at it, it's like the whole thing with him and Nipsey, and then the next thing is about Tekashi. I feel like everything that he does is always like a degrading
I was
thing
just
to the
about
black.
to say that.
It's like it's never anything that's like it's always tea, but it could be tea without being like
Never nothing
so
positive.
dirty,
Demeaning.
like in demeaning. Yeah.
Never heard him do anything for his community.
So the whole
Never heard
Tekashi
him-
situation, right? The whole Tekashi situation. How do we feel on that?
That's crazy.
About
know what I
the
mean?
situation.
Well, you know what I mean, his whole situation with being with Treyway, fake being blood, and snitching on everybody because one they were sleeping with his baby mother and using him they were pimping him for money to support the gang. You know, my whole take on the situation is that like just don't portray nothing that you're not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
you chose that life.
And if you do, be prepared to stand up to the consequences,
Yeah.
right? You
And
reap
the
what you
backlash.
sow.
Yeah, and the
Right?
backlash.
I feel like I agree with that, but then it's like, does being a gangster make it like, or pretending to be a gangster make it okay to like have your girlfriend fuck your friends?
Well,
Like I don't
what-
think that has anything to do with being
well,
gangster.
the thing about it is this, right? That's the lifestyle you chose,
Exactly.
right?
Good
You
point.
chose to hang around with these people because if you look at other people that are successful in music, right? Like Drake, for instance, right? He's never claimed to be any type of gangster at all, but he still makes music for the trap, right? He hasn't claimed, but he still makes music for the trap. So he is reaping what he sowed.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, you know what? I can be around them, but I don't have to be one of them." And that's one of the biggest things right now with Tekashi. He wanted to be one of them so bad, so he assimilated himself to that lifestyle.
I feel like
You assimilate yourself to that lifestyle. There are things that come with it: the dishonesty, right? Disloyalness, right?
Yeah.
The sexual promiscuity with your female, with the women
Will
that you're
Smith
dating.
is one of the
that you're-
nicest rappers ever.
right?
His girlfriend's
that you're not,
getting
if you're not married,
fucked, so-
even if you're married. So now, what's your take on that? Does that exclude him from any of the backlash that he's going through right now?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. You have to deal with the consequences of like pretending to be somebody. I feel like even with me as managing artists, one of my mentors told me, it's like to manage these artists when they are dropping music. It's like you can be whoever you want to be, just make it believable. As soon as people believe you, that's when your records are going to sell. So it's like it's him because he pretends to be somebody. But if we look at even Rick Ross, who's a correctional officer who pretends to be a gangster, it's like we're not gonna find a celebrity that is who they are. Even Future says that that's not who he really is. Like he has to keep up that persona for other people. I feel like all of these celebrities are not these people. So, sorry. I feel like as a person who watches celebrities, like if you really believe who these people are, then I think it's as fans that it's just kind of it's just interesting. Because they're just not who they are. I don't think anybody's who they really are in that lifestyle, in that limelight, personally. Do I think that he deserves it? I don't think anyone deserves it. But it's like, do I think he's wrong if he's a gangster and that's the code of being a gangster? Then yeah, he's wrong because he knew what he was supposed to do in certain situations. But as an artist and as a rapper, all these rappers are liars. So it's like for anybody to even believe them in the first place, it's their fault, respectfully. He's an artist and a gangster. So it's like, it's two different codes, it's two different street codes. He's not a gangster, he's a rapper. So putting him up to gangster street codes is stupid. When he's an artist, he's a rapper, he's a millionaire. Majority of people, if somebody steps you, you're gonna fight them. If you're a gangster,
Yeah.
this Drake has hundreds of security guards. Tekashi has hundreds of security guards. Meek Mill, who's a gangster,
He has the
has
feds.
mad security guards. Like you got
The feds.
people protecting you, so clearly you're not a gangster anymore once you reach a certain level of superstardom, is what I'm saying. So to say that I'm not a gangster, I don't give a shit about gangster street codes with certain things. Do I think he's wrong? I think he's wrong because if he's really a gangster, then yeah, I think he's wrong. But he's not. And I feel like we need to stop looking at him like with his high expectations, like he was supposed to do this. When he's a rapper, he's a millionaire rapper who stays in his house and barely even goes outside unless it's about some antics. So we need to stop keeping him to those levels of he's hood or he's gangster, or he's this, because he's not. None of these rappers are.
That is true. That is true. So, last question. I just want to see where your mind is at right now, right? What are your expectations of men, right?
I don't expect nothing.
You don't expect. What are your expectations of
I
men?
don't expect nothing to lead to disappointment. Listen,
Damn.
Nope.
Wait, could you elaborate on that question?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I expect you to treat me like a queen, nothing less
Yeah.
about how I treat myself, but I don't expect. When you put expectations on people, you just create your own disappointments. Because when people disappoint you, you be like, damn. But it's just like, you gotta let people show you who they are.
Yeah.
No expectations.
Yeah, I don't have expectations.
You don't have no expectations of men.
I just expect someone to just treat me how I treat myself, which is
Yeah.
like,
Well,
respect,
For my man, my expectations, what I would like, just support. Someone that's supportive and somebody that just says what they're going to do. Like if they say they're going to do something, to just do it. That's like my two
Yeah,
main
man, your
things.
word.
And what about you? So, what are your expectations of your significant other?
Well, okay, you want to go. Because I was about to say expectations of men in general.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's why I was like elaborate. 'Cause I don't know if it was like my
I was gonna say
boyfriend or-
I feel like expectations of men in general should be just to be more supportive and understanding of women and learn to communicate better and have a better communication and transparency with their woman. There's no point in saying it. Just calling a title, oh, that's my lady, but you pretty much move the same way you move with motherfuckers in the street. If that's your woman, then you should be able to communicate. You should be able to be vulnerable enough, because why are you with her if you can't trust her with your vulnerability? You know what I'm saying? Why are you with her if you can't trust her to make good decisions? Fuck is you being with somebody, oh, you just fucked her, and then you found out you thought she was dumb, and now you try to change everything that she thinks or make her feel like everything she thinks is not right. You know what I'm saying? You should take more time. So, I mean, I feel like my expectation of men in general in society should just be to, you know, have more pride in themselves, take more time with women, you know what I'm saying? Make sure the woman you're dealing with really likes you the same way a woman should make sure whoever she's dealing with really likes her for who she is. And then that's where you can really start to build. And an expectation of just protecting these children, standing up as a man in society with certain things and just conducting yourself a certain way. It's not always about violence. Sometimes it's about really just the communication. Like I said, again, talking about certain things and problems, I guess, in the community or whatever. It's not about just, oh, I'm gonna go to a protest and shoot it up because I'm mad at a certain race. It's like, that's not protecting your community or your women, because now when they fucking start bombing all y'all motherfuckers, then you mad and you got dead women, kids, and men. You know what I'm talking about? So I feel it's like, that's my expectation of men in general. And my expectation of my significant other is just to be ambitious, supportive, and, you know, just loving themselves, which is gonna only make them love themselves and wanna share that with me.
And what about you? What are your expectations of men?
Men in general or personally, for like my own?
Both.
Okay, for in general, what I expect from men is, you know, just protect us black women, because we get the shittiest end of the fucking stick. And nobody really takes up for us as much as they should. As much as black women take up for black men, I don't think black women take up for black women like that. So I feel like we really need
You don't think black men take up for black women?
I feel like it's
Not
the
as
time to
much.
say that because of the whole Will
Whoa.
Smith
No, not as
situation.
much
Whoa,
as black
whoa,
women
whoa.
I agree with
pick up for
Black
black
Black men are definitely.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it enough. You guys are doing it, but not as much as us black women when we're trying to take up for y'all and protect y'all. I feel like we have that motherly, I'm gonna protect you. But if black women is being dogged and talked about, black men, y'all not on that. Y'all don't have y'all foots on these motherfuckers' necks, no.
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. Yeah, and I do definitely agree with that as far as like she said, taking up for the women.
Black men are definitely taking up for black
Instead of
women.
just allowing us to be
doing it,
talked
but
about
not
in a
as
degrading way. I mean, you might have had a bad experience with a black woman. You can have a bad experience with any woman of any color, don't matter. But sometimes I feel like they drag it where it's like you have a bad experience with one black woman and you just start putting out this energy that, oh, no, you know what I'm saying, black women are angry, or black women are too aggressive, or they're too whatever. And it's like, you can't say that about every black woman,
Because
every
we are not
melanated
the
woman,
same.
because there's a lot of women that are not like that. And yeah, I do agree with what she said. Yeah.
We just need y'all to just stick up for us more. Not you personally, babe. Just just your species just needs to really
Basically, the ones that know it applies, don't let it fly. Like,
Right,
you know
exactly.
who you are out
Exactly.
there. That's not. You know what I'm saying? That's talking down on women. That's why so many melanated women gotta ask you, well, that's how you feel about your mother too?
Yeah.
You feel me?
And
I know we've all
Yeah.
said that to a man before, because men say so much stuff sometimes. And I live stream, so I deal with a lot of people from all over that I hear different opinions and different, you know what I'm saying, mindsets. And it's like, it do be like that. You know what I'm saying? Even down to just the industry. And I feel like, I feel it's a little bit more responsibility for men to make women feel beautiful in clothing.
Stop trying to fuck them all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Just feeling beautiful in clothing too, because, you know what I'm saying, again, it's like too stereotypical, and it's a thing now that it's like, a woman gotta be looking a certain way instead of just being herself. It's like
Yeah,
people say they want people to be who they are, but they be lying. They be lying about, oh, I want somebody to just be yourself, because people be themselves, and people
Now
for
you got a
decades
problem
haven't
with
been
it.
accepting people for being themselves. So it's like you just gotta be real.
That's
with
another
yourself,
thing.
bro.
People say, I want you to be you. But when I'm me, it's too much for you. It's either.
Well, what's
you
too much?
intimidate-
Hold on, what's too much?
I know a lot of people.
What's too much?
What some people say, oh, we're too
Yeah.
loud or too aggressive or too.
But it's really.
Well, that gets
you're
back into
intimidated
being
by
feminine,
us.
right?
Yeah, because I've
Right?
been told I'm intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
How am I
all the time.
intimidated?
Huh?
I feel like what that statement, because you say that a lot, I feel like it's the same thing with the like toxic masculinity, there's a toxic femininity. Because are we not allowed to express
Oh,
ourselves?
yeah.
And how come as soon as we express ourselves, it's deemed as aggressive or she did it? Like sometimes we're feeling how we feel, and I feel like sometimes when we express how we feel, it's considered angry. But it's like, yeah, because I'm passionate and I'm hurt. So how
And
come
we
I'm
don't get
automatically
hurt.
angry or I'm automatically aggressive? Like, am I not allowed to have my feelings hurt without you just turning it around? Oh, you go on your period.
You
Oh,
know
you're
what?
aggressive. Oh, you're
is it that
it's
kind
like,
of
we always
like-
viewed as being the strong ones. You know,
Yeah,
even the
it's
strong
the backbone.
mantle of everything.
Yeah.
Even down to healthcare. Black people are the
Oh my
backbone
God.
of this whole freaking country.
Mm.
And, you know, we get,
We raise other people's kids.
yeah. we
So
Without
how-
even
respect them.
knowing sometimes.
So how do you feel about interracial dating?
I don't think there's nothing
I
wrong
don't know.
with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
Honestly-
As long as it's a respect thing.
Honestly,
Hold on,
let's
hold on.
think about the
That's
whole
what
thing.
you
Hold
wanna
on.
do. That's what you want to do.
No. How do you feel about interracial dating?
Oh, I don't have. I'm not a. You know, I'm not against
Uh-huh.
nothing, but it's just not for me. I ain't against it though. Like, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, I just feel like I need someone that can relate to me.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, because you won't understand my problems, or my kids won't understand, you know, certain things, or they couldn't be like. There's some people that are, you know, whatever, accepting and those things, but you know, a lot of, you know, Mont Blanc. I'm gonna say Mont Blanc. Give me
White
I get, like,
people.
I think like.
Yo, I'm over here like, what is that?
Nah.
I'm trying to be nice, you know. I was saying.
Moon blood is white people for those who need translation.
I'm so sorry.
Oh
But,
my God.
you know, a lot of them have fetishes, you know, and it goes back to slavery.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
a lot of them rape, majority of their kids, the white women could not bear kids like black women. So they raped a lot of these women, and a lot of that is just psychological thing. They were obsessed with our bodies. You know, they put us on display. Like we were
yes,
freaking
that's circus.
animals.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were obsessed with how we looked.
How voluptuous and
even
curvy.
down to like their clothing. The only reason why they had those big humps because of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to look like us. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like they always had, like, some people just have like a hidden fetish, like just to be with a black girl, just to be with a black girl. But it's like you want to be with
Taken
us,
from
but
us.
then you can't accept us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And never-
But if you fuck with us, it's behind closed doors. Either you gonna love me out loud or don't love me at all. So maybe it's like my trauma from maybe my ancestors. Maybe I've been seeing the Haitian people that just, you know, beat everybody. So I like how.
And that's the thing, Haitians, a lot of people be forgetting that Haitians fought back.
Oh,
They
yeah.
fought the fuck back.
So
We fought
what do you
back.
feel about interracial dating? Oh, I'm gonna get to you, but what do you feel about interracial?
Never go against the grain. I feel like as black people in this day and age, we cannot do that shit. They would never understand our struggle and our pain. I've been with a white man, and I'm not gonna go into details.
Now go into details. Go into details. What happened? Why couldn't he understand your pain? No
Because he just
sugarcoating.
couldn't,
Say it is what it is.
He just couldn't. He just couldn't. And like what you said, it was a fetish being with
Yeah.
me. It was really a fetish when it all comes down to it. And I just learned.
That lust again.
How did he treat you?
I could say he seduced me the way a man is supposed to seduce a woman.
Did you like a queen?
Yes, he did that. But I felt like at the end, it was really a fetish because I got to see the women previous from me. They all kind of look like me. So I said, okay, he has a type and it's really a fetish.
Yeah.
It's really not a deep love
No.
for us. And yes, this white man in particular, he used to go to the parties and do, certain shit like that. But it's like you're taking.
That's that porn
You're
shit.
exactly, you're taking. I feel like they all take. They're all taking something from us. It's really not a love for us. They're trying to take, and it's really a fetish.
Were you
And-
sexually attracted by him? Like, or attracted to him?
I
Uh-oh,
like
it sound like
it.
you got something to say.
I liked how he courted me, how he approached me. He came with the cars, he came with the money. It was different for people to see this black woman like myself and this white guy. So a lot of people would look at us like, who is that? Why is he with her? How did they meet? So it was really an image thing in the beginning. But when I came to my senses, after I came to my senses, I'm like, okay, this is really not for me, and I'm never doing this for them.
How do your family feel about it?
They don't know, because it was really quick.
So you hit him.
Yeah. It was
How
just
was
like,
sex?
the sex was
Joe, you wanna take my place, Joe?
I'm just curious.
Yeah, how was the sex?
The sex was sex. It was nice. It was
Bigger, smaller, wider, narrower.
What kind of white person?
How do you smell?
Yeah, because
They smell like
They smell
chicken.
like chicken and wet dog.
listen.
No, I know what she mean with that. Like, they do
about to
have
get
the scent.
flagged.
Yeah, white people do have this wet dog, like musty.
They have a smell.
Yeah, they have a scent.
Like
but
a damp.
damn, yeah. But he didn't have that. He was very put together. He's a businessman, so he's really on his shit. So he didn't have a scent. He smelled really good. He has it together. He just has his fetishes, which is dark skin black women with shape or whatever. Who asked me about his size? Who
I
asked
did.
about his size? Average size, I guess. He wasn't big nor was he small.
I'm looking at your face.
Yeah.
What do you feel about interracial dating?
Oh, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I never, but you know.
And me, I wanted to try it. I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to be, with a white guy. So I said, let me try this shit. He really likes me.
The person that I was like engaged with was a white person.
And
Like
what
I was
happened?
like, I feel like
So
I
he
think God-
proposed to you. You didn't marry him. Why not?
I think God came like it was just a great timing personally because I was going to completely go through with everything, and then Donald Trump ran for presidency.
So Donald Trump ruined your
there's so
relationship.
There's so many things.
Politics.
No, Donald Trump
Ruined a
saved
lot
my
of
life. I
people's
would say, like,
I feel
I feel like there's so many things that you don't even know to talk about, or like we have certain conversations, but then it's like when you're talking politics, it's like certain conversations come up where it's just like. Now I'm chilling with your family, and then I'm seeing what your sister thinks, and I'm just like,
it's awkward.
they're like, black people don't have ID cards, cause then that's why, and I'm like, y'all really like think we're just retarded as a community. Like, it's
Black people don't have
it's
ID
not that I'm
cards.
even like,
Yeah,
that was
we
a lot of
need 'em to
and then
put
everything
down.
about section, it was just so many stereotypes that I was just
Oh my
like,
God.
I'm not even joking. Like, it was
No,
so
you
many times
gotta
I was
hear
just
the
looking around and I was just like,
stereotypes.
there's no way. Like, you could be mad, but you also can't when it's like they watch
know no better.
a certain channel and they watch certain things. Like, when you Google anything, based off of who you are, your social media and your Google is like for you.
For you, yep.
So me coming,
I know what
like
you mean.
in the
So they
beginning,
suggest what they suggesting to them, they're not suggesting to us and vice
exactly,
versa.
exactly.
So it's like I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So I'm sitting there having conversations, and like I had to have a certain level of patience with these conversations because now you're the token black person, and if you say things too aggressive, then they're like, oh, see, because black people. So it's like now I have to have these really highly intellectual, offensive conversations with 10 people at certain times watching debates, and it just got to a point where it was just like. It was the fetish, and then it was like, how do you have a fetish? Because I thought it was an understanding that he had in the beginning, right? Where it's just like, okay, he did deal with certain things. He did have, like, he grew up in certain situations where it's just like, okay, there's somewhat of an understanding, but then when you see the family, and I go to where I had the keys, but when I go upstate, like, and you chill, with the family, and you chill at the family house, it's just like, you see what everybody else thinks. It's like you really didn't come from this. This is an older thing that was introduced to you. So now I'm seeing certain things, and it's like it is a fetish. It's not only a fetish, but it's like you only have black friends, and you only have this. It's more so like that. When the stereotype, like when your parents don't like something, so you purposely do it. I feel like that's what that was. So he was very content in playing a role until you really started understanding how he thought. And then it got to a point where it was like, because he was chilling with black people, his black friends used to let him say nigga. And I was just like, you're not saying that around me. If you come around my family, you're not saying that. If you come around my friends, you're not saying that. Like, he was starting to feel too comfortable. And then finally, like, a lot of other things, like, it was like, I don't even want to talk about that. But there was a lot of things that made me, like, definitely run for the hills. And then when I came back, because we lived together, and I, like, was getting all of my stuff, he was, like, trying to not let me come in the house, even though I had the keys, and I was trying to respect the space.
Treat you like
Yeah, like, I mean, I had moved out, and but now it's just like, no, you're gonna come get your stuff when I say. And I'm like, I got the house, I'm respecting you, so I'm coming to the house because it's taking too long. And then when I come in the house, it's a girl that looks exactly like me in the bed. Like, she has an normally I have an afro. Like, I don't really even wear wigs. No, she's black, but she's like my height, my size, like. I rarely wear wigs like that, and especially at the time, it was like I was always afro set, like my afro, and you replaced me in weeks with a twin, and she's coming out all like,
hey, how you doing?
Like,
my name is Amber.
You don't even know what you in the ride for, sweetheart. And I'm like, let me just get my shit, because I opened the door and I saw them in the bed, and I just closed the door because I generally don't give a fuck about you anymore. Like, I just want my stuff. So I started packing everything, and then he gets up and he's like he's flustered. I'm just like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. Like, I'm going in the bathroom, taking out certain products from the bathroom. I'm like, dude,
I would have shot him.
so, like, these are my curl creams, but this is a curl cream. And then I see the girl, and I'm just like, full afro, slim, like me, completely fetish. Like fetish.
So I got a question for you ladies, right? Just test the waters real quick, right? Do you know how to be a man's piece?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how to be a man's muse?
I'm very peaceful.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah,
Hold on, let's start with you real quick.
Well, okay.
Miss Non-Peaceful.
No, I know how to. It depends on the guy and what he requires as peace. So, I'm not fussy. I always make this clear. I'm not the fussy type. I'm not the whiny type. The thing with me, I say one thing and that's it. If you don't follow the suit, then it's a problem. But I'm very peaceful overall. I give you a space because I like my space. I let you do you because I want that same, respect as well. So I know how to give a man his peace, depending on the man and what he requires as peace.
All right, what about you?
Oh, I'm very peaceful. Listen.
Cause both of y'all too? Y'all seem like firecrackers.
And I'm a smoker,
No,
so it's like I
yeah,
just
me
be
too.
chilling.
I be high sometimes.
Yeah,
I hope
I
my
be
mama
chilling.
don't see this, but she know. I be
You high right now?
Nah, I should have been, but I'm not. But anybody got it, let me know, because I meant to know. But yeah, I be chilling. Like, I feel like I grew up around like a lot of boys, like my brothers, so I feel like I grew up like a tomboy, so I'm very chill. Like, I'm like the bro, like I'm like the bro best friend. Like, I should just be chilling. Like, I just be mind my business.
Yeah.
You don't bother me, but if it's lit, then it's lit.
Yeah.
But if you don't bother me, I don't bother you. But I just be chilling. Like, I don't like arguing. I grew up in a very argumentative home. Like, I run from things like that. I don't like arguing. I don't believe in arguing in front of kids. Like, I don't believe in a lot of things. Like, I just like peace. Like, I don't like anything that disrupts my peace. Anything that disrupts my peace, anything that gets me out of character, I'm gonna deal with it one time, but I'll never deal with it again. Like, I don't like anybody that gets me out of character or puts me in an energy that I don't want to be, or puts me in an energy where I healed and I work very hard. So if you trigger that, that means that I need to stay the fuck away from you.
That means you're toxic.
Yeah, you're toxic.
What about you? You know how to be a man's piece?
I feel like I do. I feel like when I went to school, I went for like sociology, psychology. So I used to like want to be a therapist, right? And I feel like within dating, I always find myself like, oh, well, because this, da 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 da. Oh,
How does that make this feel?
oh, well, and it was like, I was always like, okay, what can I do to help? Oh, well, and it made me realize like, I'm always justifying people's actions for what they do to me. And
psychology.
So because I understand,
You understand
it's
logical
like,
side.
but I'm still hurt. And I
Yeah.
feel like at this point in my life, it's like, not that I'm no longer going to do that, but I feel like I have to be like the opposite. I have to stop trying to be, not their peace, but I have to stop trying to understand so much and let them understand me and how I feel and how I want and what I want in certain relationships or in certain things in a relationship. I feel like I'm always someone's peace, but I feel like in a way I want to move out of that actually.
Oh, so you want to be?
Not that I don't want to be their peace, but I don't want to be so
That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't want to be so understanding that it's causing me my peace.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Like,
And
not necessarily.
I feel you because I have that issue with men, about the men I used to choose in my past. The men I used to choose in my past were men that were involved. So I was always understanding, and I was always the peace. Now, I feel like I can't, I can't be in that position anymore. No more. Like, I can't be that outside piece for a guy anymore. So that whole is, I don't know. It's fucking.
So you don't
So
want
you
to be
may
the
not
side
be
chick
their peace,
anymore.
but you're not gonna be their trauma either. Just
Yeah.
because I don't want to be someone.
Because I've been that outlet.
Yeah,
to men
I
that
don't-
were involved. So it's like, no more.
I believe in
no
being
longer.
friends first before anything.
Yeah.
What about you, Natural?
Yes. I
You know how to
think
be your significant
I
other's
think I'm
peace?
peace. Yes. I mean, because I'm patient, I'm understanding,
Yeah.
and you know, I definitely, I think I listen and I try to give the best feedback without seeming like I'm telling someone what to do. But it's more like, you know, I'm peace because I try to just keep focused on the positive shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like
good
she
then.
said, I don't like the negative vibes or anything disturbing my peace too much. So I try to be a peace for somebody, even when they're going through their whatever, you know. And that's anybody. That could be my daughter. That could be my significant other.
Let
That
people
could
go
be a family
through
member.
things.
You know what I'm saying? I just try to be an encouragement of some in a positive direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
So ultimately, men want peace, right?
Not all.
And
They
hold
say
on,
they
Joe.
want peace, and then you give them peace.
oh, believe me, they
Listen.
like toxic.
Listen.
Goes back to what they used to.
Ultimately, men want peace, but more importantly, we want women to manage our egos, right?
You know,
And when I say that, we want a woman to know how to make him be more creative, inspirational, ambitious, right? More leader forward, right? That's what's gonna ultimately bring you peace.
but a woman should
Right.
spark that off rip. If she doesn't spark that in you, then
Yeah, that's
It's
how
not
he
for you.
knows. Yeah.
But that's how we know.
Yeah.
That's how men know. Like, okay, you know what? This woman is a woman for me because she does all of those things that I before mentioned.
They still cheat.
No.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
Right?
But you do have some men that like to test that shit.
Yeah.
They have that mindset like, all right, this girl, she not good to me, but something about her, I gotta have her. Maybe I could fix her. Maybe I could change her.
And you know, some niggas is not used to when they come across like a girl that's calm, they're not used to that. Like if they used to people like some guys.
Well,
come
majority
across
of
me,
black women are not
they're
calm.
used to arguing with girls, and I don't argue.
Watch it.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
not
Majority-
stereotype.
Majority,
I'm
hold on.
Yeah, some-
Majority, generally, black women are not calm.
No, that's a lie. You see what I'm saying?
That's not a
No,
lie.
That's
Generally,
And I
generally
think it's
speaking.
very narcissistic to say
Yes.
that because
You are a
it's
Haitian
like
man, that's okay.
saying,
No, what?
That's it.
I'm gonna spice it up.
Oh,
I'm telling you the
it's like
truth,
saying-
right?
You
Now-
don't get 4 not calm women right now.
Hold on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women in the panel and another.
Yeah.
I think
another
it's useless to say that melanated women are not calm just for the simple fact that at the end of the day, you gotta know what made her uncalm.
We're not
And if you don't know that, you don't
reason.
talk about
Exactly.
you don't
See, this
talk
is
about
the
how
thing.
somebody's not calm.
It is trauma generational.
Because when the hell were
So-
men calm?
Like we're right. You get some rah men out there.
But where were
You
y'all
say the
calm
wrong
though?
thing.
Huh?
Just because y'all black out and y'all fade off and don't listen to what we saying don't make you calm. You just not listening. Because if you was listening to what the fuck we saying, you wouldn't be calm because you wouldn't
Exactly.
like it and know how to
Right.
handle that
And
shit.
then go outside, shoot up something just to get that aggression
The
out.
difference is a woman sometimes don't be calm because we be listening to all that bullshit you be saying, and then you know what I'm saying, we can't be calm because we listening to all them unfucking facts.
So you said it's trauma. So how do we go past the trauma? What are we doing to
It's therapy.
fix the trauma?
Therapy. That's why we spoke earlier about therapy, how that is very useful for black women. You don't always have to go to church or, sit down with your homegirls that are also fucking toxic and have trauma. So it's like therapy is a great outlet for black women. I think you
Yes,
should give it a
therapy
try.
and like y'all said, having time to yourself. Therapy and time to yourself, because without therapy, when you definitely can make time for yourself. When you have time to yourself, all you can do is think and go over some of the things that
Yeah.
have been going on in your life that you've been doing or others been doing, and if you gotta cut them off or whatever. But that takes time by yourself, because when you don't have that quiet time to yourself, all you're doing is going.
Yeah.
So you're not even getting a chance to really sit down and really like recollect on like, oh,
And
you know
keep a
what, this is a
diary.
better way to move.
Yes.
Keep a
Journaling is
diary.
important.
Journaling is very important, even if you don't have access to one. They're literally $1, or you can go on your phone to your notes. It's
So
very helpful.
last question I'm gonna ask y'all. We're gonna wrap this up, right? So scenario. I'm gonna put y'all in a scenario. You outside with your girls, having the best time of your life, and your phone go, and your man is like, "Yo, I want you. Where you at? Come through."
Pick me up.
Bye, peace out. I'm going to what? I don't give a fuck.
You know what
These
time it
bitches
is.
can't fuck me. I'm going for my man.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
What about you?
Oh, shit.
Huh?
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby.
What about you?
I feel like, yeah, you should prioritize your man.
Okay.
But if you have,
If you got a good man though, because sometimes like women
Uh-oh.
be like treating their girls like shit for some ain't shit
yeah,
man.
for some piece
Yeah.
of shit.
Like if you got a solid one,
But you with him though, so he ain't that much piece of shit.
Well,
You with
that's
him?
because you bonding off trauma.
so yeah, the person that I'm gonna choose, my next man, is gonna be an amazing person, and yes, I would definitely.
Amen.
I'm leaving.
Am I?
Uh-oh, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, here I come.
Here it come.
with my
Uh-oh.
controversial
This is you.
ass.
But like, yo, you sit on the
If I
panel.
just fucking got there, I ain't leaving shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking too damn good and I just got there, I'm really not leaving. Because
Let me
ain't you
get my
supposed to be
picture
home when
first.
I get home and leave? Like, I was just trying to schedule this shit. That was
No.
natural.
But hold on. The man called you. Your significant other called you.
Am I getting
So
it?
After how long of being
It depends on
here?
how late.
If
It
I
depends.
if I have my 2 drinks and I'm lit,
I don't know. I'm a person like questions like that. It really depends for me because I'm
Yeah.
a thinker, and I'm looking at it like if it's bitches I ain't seen in a while, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah.
saw you yesterday. If it's some people, girls I be around all the time, but I would never be in this situation. I don't even have a lot of female friends. But you know what I'm saying? And you know, my significant other is gonna be my best friend, female. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, if I haven't been around these females and friends for a while, then it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you have a
If we
good time.
fucking on a
Yeah.
regular, if we fucking on a regular basis, I'ma feel like I don't know. Now if it's some shit like
Well,
you've
we
been
live
gone
together.
and you came out of town and it's like you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like
they
I
both
said, it
be
depends on the
busy.
situation. I
Yeah.
could definitely see myself doing that for my significant other for sure.
Yeah.
It
But
all depends.
there's a but.
Yeah. If we
There's
live
a
together, maybe
but.
not, because I can still come
So
home to you.
so was a butt, right? But
Yeah, don't make me leave in no organ.
But is that person a priority?
Yeah.
I feel like that person is definitely a priority whether I leave or not. You know why you're a priority? The fact that you able to get it at all makes you a
get
fucking
what?
priority.
The vagina?
Yeah, the fact that we gonna smash when I see you
The poop
is a
is
privilege
the
anyway.
number one
So
thing in this
what
world.
you worried about? You not even trying to still get me. You got me already. So if you got me already, it's like you know I'll drop it at a dime. But I feel like I'm a weird ass Aquarius, so I feel it's like a sense of control included.
My mother.
That's a
daughter
dub.
is an Aquarius.
If I feel there's a weird sense of control included, it's a dub. I'm February 3rd.
Oh,
You're
God.
lying.
I'm February 3rd.
That was my due date, and I had her in a second.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say I got another birthday twin. But yeah, so I think that, and the reason why I say I think that's, I would say is because when I used to listen, you know, not you know, when I used to listen to High 97 and Miss Jones in the morning was on, and they used to do them things in the morning where they would do that. They would be like, yo, babe, yo, leave work and come, like, whatever, like, to have sex. Yeah, they would do it with the work part and see if the person would give in to them, like, type shit.
Just get me fired.
I feel like it depends on the situation, but if it's
Pull up on
if it's a
break.
make sense situation,
Pull up
I'm
on break.
always
Yeah.
with what makes sense. But if you know that I haven't been, like, if we've been vibing like that and we've really been fucking around like that, you know shit, like, oh, you knew I was going out with my homegirls, and you, why you wait till, why you call me?
And
You
some
knew
niggas be toxic like that. They know you look good. Bring your ass.
No,
They
it's
know
not-
your friends and some hoes.
You should have took me out.
Why you out with the hoes?
Why you, should
Why
took
you out
me
with your whole ass friends?
Why aren't you playing something? You should take me out for dinner.
Listen.
Why you out with your whole ass
That's because
friends?
you're not. That's
I know
because
you're
you're
not
not
sitting
sitting
down.
down. Doesn't mean your friends are ready.
Birds of a feather.
That's not true.
That's not
Okay.
true.
That's the worst.
Now that's not true because I could be around females that move
I got
certain
my own
way. They
mind.
might not want me around, but I'm okay with being around them because I'm not judging them.
Yes,
They might
yeah.
judge me because
Yeah.
I'm not doing what they're
They're
doing.
doing,
So
exactly.
they might feel uncomfortable having me around because they feel like, oh, like, okay,
I have one best
she don't
friend
relate to what we doing or whatever.
really,
but
really close
I got cousins.
homegirl.
I don't be judging.
You don't be
Like,
judging?
and that don't mean I'm gonna be like you neither, because I'm my own individual.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a dumb thing that niggas think too, that birds of a flock together. Like,
So
you
if
know,
I
you think that in my
so hold on.
for instance,
So
I
as a
have a
reasonable-
child friend and she's a thought. You think I ain't been trying to inspire her not to be a thought all my
Thank
life?
you.
I mean, I ain't gonna give up on the
Word.
bitch. Because I ain't fucking a thought ass,
Word.
but guess what? That don't mean I'm gonna become like her if I'm
That's 'cause
being
she's
a real
sucking dick,
friend
baby, I'm
that's
sucking dick.
being the balance of a friend. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so when dudes be saying that should be blowing my mind.
Okay, so hold on.
Y'all be having all y'all little facts fucked up.
Hold on. Monkey wrench real quick. You know what I'm saying? We're going to close out, right? So if I roll with a dude that is a known pimp, that's my bro, right? You are not going to have in the back of your head like, yo, Marcus out here trying to be a
No,
pimp too?
because
No?
you gotta be
No?
showing me signs of being a pimp.
All right.
Meaning, like,
You heard it here.
Exactly.
You heard it here, right?
No, that's a
When
real
me
good
and my
conversation
pimp
topic.
friend go out, I don't want nobody saying
You got
Marcus
pimp
trying to be like,
friends?
yeah, I got pimp friends.
You know why? Let me tell you.
Yeah, I roll with some pimps.
Let me tell you the real quick remedy to that, right? If you really dealing with a dude and you know you dealing with him on that kind of level where y'all really communicating, and again, you shouldn't be dealing with him if y'all ain't got communication. So now, regardless, you gonna know his mindset about his friend.
Exactly.
Right? So if he chilling with you and he with you and he idolizing what his friend is doing versus saying, yo, I had fun with my boy, but this nigga be wild, son. Like he be talking a bit like da 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 da
Men
da.
pillow
Now
talk.
you know the mindset how
You know about our boyfriend's
unless,
Sure do.
unless your man is just a whole lie and he's
Too much.
portraying in front of you like he don't like the shit. But again, if you deal with somebody, you communicate, you're gonna know how they think based on how they respond to certain stuff or how they talk to you. Like if y'all talk as friends when they get home, I have fun, you know this nigga, da, da, da. And that's the point of being best friends with who you with. Because now y'all talk about real nigga shit.
Yeah, gotta be comfortable. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to close out here.
Wow,
This has been
great.
an excellent discussion, an excellent panel. Ladies, big up your Instagram, social
I
medias, and all
am
that.
PJ Love. You can find me MissPlatinum.P. That's on Instagram and on TikTok, and on Twitter I am MissPlatinum327. Also click the link in my bio on my.
You got OnlyFans?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ.
click the link in my
Is it
bio.
free?
Subscribe. Hell no, it's not. Crazy. Yeah, but.
What
Hey
about
guys,
you?
I'm Steph Rose. You can find me on every platform, not every platform, because I don't do Facebook, but Instagram, my LinkedIn, Steph Rose with a Z-A-Y. And join my crypto school.
Yeah.
really wanna
Talk
know-
about your crypto school real
Yes,
quick.
so if you really want to learn how to trade Bitcoin, that's
Because you said you retired at 12, right?
24. But I'm retired. I don't work for nobody. So
Amen.
I have several businesses. My crypto school, God led me to do that because I was in nursing school and I was trying to figure out how to bring in more money, and I fell in love with trading. It's been 5 years. I mastered trading. I create strategies, so I teach you how to trade. I don't do anything else, but all my modules is like, I'm for the low because I'm for the people. Okay, so I'm not trying to whatever because I know what it's like. So I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Because I'm tired of it.
What about you?
Social media, everything is Roxy Lazama. It's RHOXY LEZAMA. Except for Instagram, it's just Roxy Official. So RHOXY Official.
What is that again?
And what about you, Natural?
I am natural all day.
Okay.
So at natural, ALLEAY. And I am a pretty plug, gift of all trades, jack of all trades, whatever you want to call it. But I really mainly am focusing on the beauty profession. So, microblading, makeup, get your face lit by me, all of that good stuff. And I care about your immune system, so I also do the sea moss gel and elderberry syrup, and
I need some sea moss.
get you looking good on the inside, feeling good on the inside, and looking good on the outside. So tap in with me because I do a whole bunch of other things too.
And you already know who I am, your boy DJ Easy, right? And we closing out like that. Shout out my cousin, Model Town Studios in the building, right? Bow! I want to say thank you. And we're going to have a part 2, right? It's going to be just a little bit more spicier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This was caliente, but we're going to get real super duper spicy, right?
Man, what kind
Right?
of spice you put in? Pickles?
Pickles, right? Super pickles, right? But thank you once again tuning in for the next broadcast.